Welcome into the Cam and Strick Podcast, episode number 129.
Brand new mics, baby. Brand new mics. You sound good.
You couldn't figure yours out. We're supposed to be recording like 25 minutes ago, and we got to wait on you because you're such a rookie. You have no idea what you're doing.
No shit, I don't. Did I go to fucking school for this shit? The hell you think? No idea what the fuck I'm doing.
You look
but
like
I figured it out.
You look like a 6-year-old kid in the middle of a snowstorm with your new headphones, dude. Are those earmuffs?
I look like a 6-year-old kid in what? I have a thick-ass beard. That dude went through puberty at a young age. Good God. I look like a Neanderthal.
Loosen up your headphones a little bit.
Man, my Aunt Handy, my fucking head's big, damn it. Worry about yourself. Jeez Louise. We're comfortable. We sound crisp, baby. We sound crisp, dude. Damn.
Well, we got the new mics, man. We should give them a shout out. A little shout out to who is this?
I don't know.
Blue. It's called Blue.
Blue.
Okay.
Damn right, baby. Hey, busy day for you, Andy. Is this a busy day for you? Are you on the phone? Is your phone going to go off every second? Like there might be something here.
I just put it on silent, but it's so funny how we do this like during trade deadline day. I don't know, man. The older I get, the longer I do this. I got to be honest. I got to phrase this the right way because it's not like it's like the least. Like I don't. My interest in the trade deadline doesn't get reduced. But my interest in the hype surrounding the trade deadline gets a little bit reduced. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got other things to do than like feel like I got to be on the phone all day long calling people, trying to break this, trying to break that. Like I used to love breaking stories, and I still do. Cam, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's like a thrill. It's like a rush you get from like smoking crack cocaine or something.
Yeah, which is great to do
when you like break a story. If it's a big story, especially, but. You know, I got to be honest, yesterday, it's like 70 degrees. It's the middle of April. I'm used to seeing the trade deadline just like you are, Cam, like in February during the normal time. And it's like nice out. We're spray painting chairs. Okay. We're like, got these Adirondack chairs. We're spray painting chairs. I almost forgot the trade deadline was actually today. And you think I wanted to sit inside, like texting and calling people? Like people are calling me left and right. What's going on? What's the scoop? I'm like, fuck, I don't know, man. It's 70 degrees outside. I'm chilling.
Well, Andy, the times have changed now. You got fucking dipshits from middle of Missouri breaking news now, dude, because you could just like look shit up. You can call people. I don't know. I don't really care. Taylor Hall goes to Bruins. Okay, cool. Is he going to help? Maybe. Maybe he won't. Has he helped anybody else? No. We'll see how it goes. A couple other things. I think Toronto kind of loaded up a little bit. That's kind of exciting. I'll have to break that down with Carlo. It's funny, like when you go on with them up there at TSN, Andy, they ask you the questions about Toronto. I'm like, I don't fucking know. You tell me. You guys watch those guys every goddamn day. I mean, they're fun to watch. They should go far. That division's not great. So, I mean, yeah, I'm with you, man. Like, I don't really give a fuck. Did the Blues do anything? Is it going to – I mean, no? Okay, then cool.
I mean, they're going to ask you to break down the Foligno trade. Is that what you're coming on for?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. Let's be honest. They're not bringing you on to break down the Foligno trade like 48 hours later.
Don't fucking ask me about it. You guys just broke it down for 5 hours. I'm just going to regurgitate what you said. Like, you know how I roll. But no, in all honesty, like, that was a pretty cool one. Like, man, any Foligno, those guys are tough. His daddy coached me in Jersey. Great dude. I mean, high intensity, high – just like energy kind of guy. I loved it. I gravitate to that kind of shit. Obviously, he loves it too. So we kind of bonded pretty well. That's a tough fucking guy, man. They can play up and down the lineup. I'd take that warrior on my team any fucking day, Andy.
Oh, yeah. No, he's grown on me. I told you he grew on me last year in the bubble. Like something about him just changed where he is such a good leader. But it's like the people in Columbus, they're already reporting that like he's going to re-sign with the Columbus Blue Jackets in the offseason. So who knows? Maybe he's coming back there and, you know, he's the captain. He seems like a guy who just like loves being in Columbus. They love him. It's like a perfect marriage. So maybe he'll end up going back there. Carlo's going crazy, by the way. I don't want to rail on Carlo, but he's on like the TSN like Trade Center set. CENTRE, by the way. Trade Center.
Dude. That's his jam, though.
And listen, and it's great. You know, obviously those guys do a great job. I love, I just had Darren Drager on the radio show, man. He's the best in my opinion. You got Bob McKenzie, obviously, who's back in it for trade deadlines. So there's a lot of nostalgia there. And it's fun, man. This is like a Canadian holiday. Like people plan their entire life around the trade deadline coverage, and they want to have a lot of action. You hope for them that there is a lot of action, so they're not just talking to themselves, but they have like literally like 75 people working today, like on the set, like all on their phones.
Waiting.
Remember they used to have the BlackBerry back in the day? I don't like, it's so uncomfortable, Cam, when media ask you questions about like information that they're looking for. It's like, I would never ask another media guy for their specific information just because I respect the information that they have. I don't expect them to share with me their information, you know? So Carlo's my buddy, man, and I understand it. But the situation with Mike Hoffman, and this could change. Again, I want to point out to all the people in Saskatchewan, everywhere, like we're recording this, like we're the only people, like I see people texting and I've heard interviews and they're like, oh, we had to change our schedule. We're actually going to record Monday night after the trade deadline. And Cam and I are like, we don't give a fuck. We'll just do it now. If we're wrong, we're wrong.
Yeah. Fuck. He didn't go there. Oh, so fucking what? So what? Now you got to give Carl credit though, because he's got to go up there with all those big dogs.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's got
to bring something to the table. Cam.
There it is, Andy. So whether that's something that's trying to get it from you, I hope he calls me. I'm just going to give him a fucking flat out nothing. I'm going to be like, here, this is what I heard. I heard there's a 5-deal trade going on with St. Louis. I'm just going to get him spinning around and saying all this shit.
I know.
And I have no idea.
But the situation with Mike Hoffman, though, like for people who don't know, I really thought he was 100% gone. And then things changed so quickly, Cam. It's like a week ago, the Blues are out of the playoffs. Now they win 3 straight. Arizona drops 3 straight.
Yeah, man.
Let me say this, Cam. I think Jordan Binnington has this like superhuman power where he can talk to the universe. Remember that lady who used to be on?
Explain yourself a little bit. I did that a couple of times, but I think I had some narcotics involved. What are you talking about?
You probably had a little psychedelics going on.
Psychedelic action. Okay. It came around in high school.
Remember, what was her name? She was like a psychic. She'd be on at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I used to love watching her, man. Like when I was a kid, because she could like read people's minds. She could look at your face or your hand and be like, tell you exactly what's going on in your life.
I believe those people. Wow. I give them a lot of money. I could see you being, this is you. This is you in a nutshell. This is you in a fucking nutshell. You go out of town and some lady like, I'm going to give you your future. And you're like, whoa, really? How much? Well, $500. Well, there you go. Let me look at your hand. You're going to have 3 kids. Oh, I do have 3 kids. She fucking ripped you right off.
After she just like talked to my wife for 45 minutes.
He's hung out with your kids for like 45 minutes. And now she just ripped. Good God, Andy.
And now she knows everything. But listen, Jordan Binnington, dude, he did this a few years ago. Like some people just kind of have that natural superhuman power. And he's got it. So he says the other night, he's doing the post-game interview on Bally Sports Midwest. He's doing it with Darren Pang. And all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, he says, yeah, we're coming. At the time, Cam, Arizona had a 3-1 lead on LA. They were between periods, about to go into third period. And LA storms back and wins the game 4-3. And this was the first game the Blues had won in several games. They beat Vegas. No one expected them to win. Everyone thought that they were out. They were going to trade everybody away. Yep. And the Blues haven't lost since. And although I guess they could lose tonight, they play tonight in Minnesota. So again, we're doing this before the Minnesota game. But Arizona hasn't won since, man. And I think it's because of what Jordan Binnington did, dude. He has the ability to talk to the hockey gods.
Well, because he won. And I know he's done that before. And, you know, he did the nervous thing and whatever. But he's just fucking with Jim Thomas on that one. Like, how can you not chirp Jim Thomas back when he's asking you questions and stuff? God. Like, this is what you're so bored of these fucking guys. I love them all. They're such sweet guys, man. They really, really are. And they work their ass
but
off.
it's been a difficult year, man, with the whole Zoom thing going on.
No shit. And you're just waiting, like, what the fuck? What? Yeah, no. Do I fucking look like that? Like, I'd be so aggravated if I had to take those fucking. I don't know how Ryan O'Reilly does it. I don't know how Craig Berube does it. I don't know how anybody goddamn does it these days. And a lot of them don't do it, Andy. A lot of them do get pissed, like Draisaitl. Remember the one question to Draisaitl? Like, how do you feel about not getting points in 4 games? He's like, it felt fucking great. It was awesome. It was like, don't you just want to like just be the biggest dick ever? So
yeah, but the other day, Jaden Schwartz was asked, "Hey, Jaden, do you want to get traded? Like the trade deadline's coming up. Do you want to get traded?" What's he supposed to say?
He said, "Who said that to him?"
I don't know. What's he supposed to say though? Yes, please trade me.
Hell yeah, yeah. I want to pack up and leave.
Traded.
I'm not comfortable here. I have a beautiful house. I have my family here. I know my neighbors. My neighbors take my fucking trash in for me. They get my mail for me. I have a security around my house. I'm unbelievably comfortable. It's cheap to live here. Yeah. I want to pack up and move. Yeah, let's do that. Get home.
Now he may end up signing elsewhere in the offseason. You never know how it's going to play out, but I'm just saying, like, those are questions that, like, you got to pull the guy aside, like, away from the rest of the media to really get an honest answer and get an idea. Maybe shoot him a text. Maybe you'll get an honest answer. But you sure as hell aren't going to get it on a goddamn Zoom, man. It's not going to happen.
Well, okay, so there's a lot of shit going down, but I mean, as far as like,
well, let me just say this.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. So Schwartz, man, I don't think the Blues were ever going to move him, man. Obviously, he's a former first-round pick. He's been here for a long time, exploded in the playoffs. I think they want to give this some time, see if they can potentially work something out to keep him here, see how he finishes the season. If the Blues make the playoffs, what kind of playoff run does he have? Because the conversations with him and his agent, they really aren't at the necessary level to know where they're at. I think both sides are still trying to figure out their path, if you know what I mean, So we're not there yet.
I hear you. And you know, all these teams making all these moves and these big splashes like Toronto, and I don't want to bash Toronto because I know those fans they're diehard, and I want that organization to fucking win, Andy. I honestly do. But the teams that no one are talking about, and you've brought this up a million times, especially on my show, the Islanders, now they talk about it because of what happened with Lou, but the Carolina Hurricanes, they don't even have double digits in losses yet. Like, no one even are they even there? Do they have a team down there, Andy? Like, does anybody realize that? But then they shit kick everyone. They're piss pumping every fucking team. They're loaded without being sexy and talked about. Now, Colorado's a different story. You got superstars on that team, and they're fucking slaughtering guys left and right. But this Carolina Hurricanes team, man, Boston can do what they want and stuff like that. I know they're going to obviously play each other eventually, but whoa, man, they're good, and they are just hiding in the weeds, Andy Strickland. Just, hey, don't worry about us. We just come into your fucking town and we piss pump you. Smack you around a little bit, kiss all the girls in town, and we fucking bounce. I kind of like that, man. They deserve some accolades from somebody.
Although they just lost to Detroit a couple of games ago in a shootout. Those are the hardest teams to play right now, Cam. You can maybe speak to this.
Right. Yep.
Like when you play a team that has been terrible all season, or they know they're not going to make the playoffs, and you're feeling the pressure of trying to position yourself, put yourself in the best position for the playoffs. And you got to play these teams that are so hungry. They have nothing to lose. They're playing for jobs next season. Like, guys don't know if they're going to get moved or not. Like,
they don't care. Young kids coming up, called up that you don't know where he's busting his ass, hitting you every fucking shift. Oh yeah, Andy. Oh yeah. Where's Zetterberg? Back in 2010, where the Blues just beat fucking 9. They scored 9 goals, and the last time we did it was against Detroit. And I told you I played in that game with Ryan Reeves. Me and Reeve were on a line together, and we both had 3 points. Or 2 points, whatever the case was. We shit stomped Zetterberg and those guys. We didn't give a fuck. We're out there fucking trying to toe drag everyone. It's working, kind of. And you're just hitting everybody in sight because you're just happy just to fucking try to get another job. Or meanwhile, they're working on their power play and their systems and how they're going to recreate that Stanley Cup vibe and this, that. And there's overthinking it while we just go play and we piss pump them by 10. That's just how it is sometimes, Andy, in hockey. We even on a smaller level. When we're playing with the alumni skates, and we bring this up all the time, but hockey's hockey, man. It's still the same kind of shit. And we're loaded up, and all of a sudden that team, the great team comes out. They got a bunch of young kids, and we're acting cocky, and they walk all over us. And then I chirp you the whole time, and you get pissed at me.
I know. No, but I love what Pittsburgh did bringing in Jeff Carter, though. Sometimes you just connect the dots. Everything's all about connecting the dots, especially when you have established people running the organization like Brian Burke and Ron Hextall.
Damn right.
Burke's yeah, dude, I know. I know Jeff Carter. It's my guy.
No shit.
Okay.
He's a winner.
Ron Hextall, obviously knowing Jeff Carter from back in their days, when they were together. Berkey and him had never been together, but he's been around the league forever. He knows Jeff Carter, but Ron Hextall specifically, having that relationship, having worked with the Kings. And then that's how you pull those deals off. A guy like Jeff Carter, man, he's going to dictate where he wants to go. He's going to be selective. He's at the stage of his career where he's not just going to go wherever. He's going to go to the right situation. Okay, Gino, Sid, Hexy. I'll
give it a try. Yeah. Oh, Sid. Oh, excuse me. My phone's ringing. Oh, hi, Sydney. Yeah. Okay. I can come there. Oh, you do have a game plan to win another cup. Oh yeah, I'll be there. Fucking Berkey gets that Delorier too, who just piss pumps somebody. This big kid from Anaheim.
Is that deal officially done?
I mean, that could have been a hoax. That there's a lot of hoaxes going on, Andy, on Twitter.
That out that's it continues to be connected to Delorier continues to be connected to Pittsburgh. I didn't know if that was a done deal.
I hope it, but with knowing Berkey's getting fucking Delorier, dude. Get over here. Get over here, you big mutant.
You want some truculence.
Get over here, you big mutant, and go do your fucking thing. I'll tell you what, that kid might be the toughest kid in the league right now.
Yeah, no, he could be. Curtis Gabriel is a guy who teams have interest in from San Jose. I'm not a huge fan. I got to figure this guy out. I got to get to the bottom of him.
Does he play? Like, does he play though, Andy?
Well,
That's the question.
He fights a lot, but he doesn't really win his fights. Like
I don't care about his fights. Does he play the game? Can he go hit you consistently? Deloria gets in there and makes plays and does shit. Man. Dude, he gets in there. He can make a play on the wall. He's fast enough and big enough to be able to get in and be scary on the forecheck. When we see Curtis Gabriel, who I like him, I think he's doing great things off the ice, man. Like, he's doing this shit, and I respect the shit out of that.
Yeah.
But if you're not beating guys up, I want to see you trucking guys like a son of a bitch. Are you fucking murdering guys coming around the net and holding on to the puck and creating space for yourself that way? I haven't seen that yet specifically with him, but I know that Deloria gets in there, man. He'll put you on your ass.
Hey, you know what I hate about the trade deadline now too?
What? Because
like with social media, like I'm not one of those guys, Cam, and you know this about me, man. I don't scroll through Twitter all day long. I just don't. I don't have notifications. They don't pop up on my phone. I'm not reading Twitter all day. So
yeah, you are.
No, I'm not. You are, dude.
I have to. I gotta know what's going on. I gotta put
I don't comment on everybody's posts, whatever. Like, listen. So, like, obviously, if someone tweets at me, I see it, right?
Yeah.
But like, I don't see what everybody else is tweeting out there. But like, you mentioned like Deloria to Pittsburgh. Like, I'm talking to somebody today, a guy obviously in the know, NHL executive who's, you know, in the mix on these calls or whatever. And so, you know, you get the scoop, whatever. And it's like, you know, that's another reason why it's like you're so hesitant to put it out. It's like, well, is this already out? Has someone else already reported this? Has this been like talked about now for like 2-3 weeks, or has somebody been talking about this, reporting about this for like the last, 2-3 days? So you don't know if like you're ahead of it, if you're behind it. Like social media has just changed things.
Dude, Andy, last night, I'm already posting stupid shit on social media as it is. And I'm like, oh God, yesterday was a long day of having fun. And then you wake up the next day and you're like, oh God, what'd I post? I'm like, oh God. But last night I got a text and it said that the Blues got that Raquel kid from Anaheim, that big kid. What's his fucking name?
Ricard Raquel?
Yeah.
Said the Blues got him.
There was a fake Blues account, and they my buddy sent that to me last night. And
Did Daddy Padre send that to you?
No, dude, I got
crazy stuff. Daddy Padre is like so into. He's like way more into this than like.
Why are you bringing him up? I have friends, Andy, a bunch of them actually, and they bullshitted me last night because they saw it from a fake Blues account, and I remember seeing that before I went to bed, and I woke up this morning. I'm like, those mothers got that big fucking kid for Sanford in a second rounder. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, that's going to be good. I might tweet something out and say, this is a big buck. Then I look at it again and I'm like, oh, it's fucking fake. I'm like, thank God. Yeah. Like there that kind of shit.
There used to be a fake account with my name on it, dude. And they would like tweet out all these different
Was it trades. Andrea Strickland?
And it was like it was a capital I instead of an L. So it looked like an L. And they would tweet out like all these different trades and all this stuff going on, and people would like call me out on it. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Like,
it wasn't even me sending the tweets out. But
they did that, yeah.
And I got a little information on that though. Like Anaheim, they want a first round pick plus a prospect because he's got term left on his contract. Josh Manson, he's got term left on his contract. They want a first round plus, and they would consider a high end prospect as a first rounder. So they would want two prospects if a team doesn't have a first or if they don't want to give up a first. It's like Arizona, man, they want to do some stuff right now. They have no picks. And let me say, listen, I've said this before. There's a lot of owners out there. Obviously, they're not bringing in any money. There's no revenue coming in. How many owners out there truly want to like spend money on cash, and I mean, continue to spend out cash when you don't have money coming in? Just because you get a player at the deadline, and I think some of these teams are being creative. I kind of like these three-way deals, man. I think it's creative. Experienced general managers kind of doing their thing. Teams that have cap space, leveraging their cap space. That's something.
I want that Josh Manson, though, baby. I want that big old boy. Yeah. I love his daddy. He is a big, tough son of a bitch. He's making good money.
He's got term left on his contract. So, again, man, when you get a player with term, it's not like a guy like Savard who's going to Tampa Bay who's going to be a rental, man. This is a player with term. You're going to have to pay a little more of a premium for those players.
Yeah. Dude, but he'll get you. Like, he'll fucking stick you. He'll get you in front of the net. He's got a good shot. Like, he kind of moves around pretty well. Like, he's playing in overtime, although, doesn't matter with them, I guess. But he's just a big kid. He's got it in his blood, just like that Tenorti. Look, there's some big old boys on defense. Let me tell you this right now. Even that Alexiak comes down the other day. He has an end-to-end fucking little goal. He does this. He'll knock you out. Although he got buckled by, I believe he got buckled by Wilson one time. But he'll fight you. He clears the front of the net. How many goals do you see, not just on the Blues from Toronto, whatever, It's just all about clearing the front of the damn net where everybody's just looking around like, what happened? And all of a sudden they get that rebound or whatever the case is, Andy. You see it all the damn time. It's good to have these big boys. They're still relevant in the game, and that's why there's an abundance of them.
Well, Alexiak, he's like 6'7". His sister was like a Canadian Olympic swimmer too.
Oh, wow.
They got all the athletes.
What's she look like? Not that it matters. She's an athlete.
I can't believe. Well, why'd you say that?
I just was asking. Does he look? Does he look
about
like him?
His sister, dude. You can't do that.
I just asked. She's an athlete. I just want to know if she's 6'7". That's it.
Manson, by the way, you're not getting him for his offense, though, Cam. You know that. You're talking about overtime. Like he was out there against the Blues. I mean,
he's out there against overtime. I don't know. I
scored a nice backhand goal.
Yeah, he scored a nice goal. I haven't seen you do that. I'm just saying. He keeps the puck alive. Like I watch, like anytime he's on the ice, I'm watching him.
He hadn't scored in like 40 or 50 games or something.
I don't give a shit. He clears the front of the net, dude, and he's tough.
Well, that's exactly right.
He'll hit you legit, like athletic hits, man.
Yeah,
put you on your ass.
So I don't know. We'll see what else happens.
Bobby Plager did to you
throughout the day. People will know. But look, what else I got on my list here? I'm just looking.
What do you got, dude? You need to run this show right now. This is your day today, Andy. This is your day.
A lot of teams asking about like Jake DeBrusk and people throwing his name out there.
I see that.
From Boston. Let me say this: when you have a 24-year-old, he's like and he's slightly older, but he's kind of like what the Blues have in Robert Thomas or Jordan Kyrou. Man, you just can't move those guys right now. Like once you move those type of players, you know what you do? You look to replace them like right away. So you're not moving young guys who can actually play. It just doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, which you still don't know if he could put it all together. Like his daddy was a big tough dude. Like he's still
he's not that type. They're different type of players for sure.
Totally, but he gets in there and he hits. Man, I see him getting in the mix a little bit.
I think it's a little too premature to just move on from him.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you on that. I heard you.
So that's not happened. He's not going anywhere. Trent Frederick's not going anywhere. I guess he could if they offered something crazy, but a lot of teams asking about him as they should. But
he ain't going. No way, dude. Like you think Boston's gonna be like, nah, we'll go through the grind without Trent Frederick. I don't think so.
No, but like no surprise teams are asking about Trent Frederick.
Yeah, they're trying to win the cup this year. Like go win the cup and then we'll figure that out.
Let
right?
me address the Taylor Hall situation to St. Louis because his name just continued to be connected to St. Louis over and over. And I look at it like this. I don't think the Blues had strong interest in Taylor Hall, but here's what they maybe would have considered doing. And from what I'm told, maybe was going on behind the scenes. Again, it's unconfirmed. I'll talk to Doug Armstrong later on today. But with Mike Hoffman making $4 million, when it looked like Hoffman was going to be moved, okay, which it did just a couple of days ago. I mean, he was out, Cam. I mean, it just wasn't working. If he's going to be a healthy scratch, you're not going to hang on to him. They're winning games without him. Robert Thomas gets hurt. He comes back in, scores 2 goals. I mean, just a bizarre situation, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
When you look at what this guy's done over the course of his career, he's come here, just hasn't been a good fit. He's in the lineup. He's out of the lineup. He's just not kind of giving you exactly what you think you need, and like doesn't play. Like you think he's out, then he comes back in and essentially wins you a game in a must-win situation.
Yeah, and puts you in a spot where Arizona, like it all kind of came together. So it's like that's hockey, though, man. And again, ask any GM. The GMs don't make these decisions; the players do.
Yes.
So Hoff is like, "We're gonna get your fucking
says
ass."
That all the time, Cam.
Dude, Hoff, here's your chance. He goes out there and he fucking scores 2 big goals to propel you into not just a great spot when you look on the stats and whatever, but mentally. Yeah. Mentally, as a team where you're like, oh, fuck, we are good. Okay, 3 in a row. Now we found our fucking groove. Let's get going. You saw that with Nashville. You saw that with a bunch of different teams this year that just didn't figure it out. A couple big games, then they win fucking 8 out of 10. Now they're in the mix. Now they're like, oh, okay. So that's hockey, man. Well, all the teams are pretty good.
Yeah, they can still catch Minnesota. We'll see how that plays out. Again, this is being done before the game on Monday night.
Yeah.
But, listen, they don't need Hoffman to be Sundqvist. They don't need him to be Barbashev. But, you just got to play a little bit harder sometimes. Just work a little bit harder. Work for your chances.
Uncomfortable things that you're not used to doing. Just elevate that part of your game. And everything comes into play, man. Your shot's always going to be there. So if you go grind it, Andy, I said this. I hate it so much. It's one of my biggest pet peeves is when guys hesitate to get on a forecheck where they're like, I'm sitting, and they look at their wingers or whatever. They take that look instead of saying, no, I'm initiating the pace. I'll get in there. You fucking veer off. We're not the fuck I'm doing. And he was kind of like that. But last couple games, he just goes. Just go.
Yeah.
People react to you.
Because you know what happens, and I'm not going to sit here and suggest this is what's happening, but you know what happens, Cam, is that guys don't want to play with you. Like when you don't want to do the work, dude,
Andy.
You don't want to do the work. You don't want to get in on the forecheck, and you just kind of look at your line mates to do all the work, and you just kind of want to hang out up top and take one-timers all game.
Hey, motherfucker, you ain't that good to do that, partner. When you got some big boys on your left and right wing, and you think you're that fucking good to not go get beat dirty and be the fucking F1 all the time, get on with yourself.
Well, but he doesn't have to be all the time. It's just a matter of like you just got to like show some willingness to do it. And again, so I'm not sitting here saying that his teammates or line mates don't want to. I'm just saying that happens. You know that happens.
It does.
And you need everyone to be on the same page. From
they didn't want to play with me.
This guy scored a lot of goals, and he's put up a lot of points in his career, man. He's had like 5 seasons with 30 or more assists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's a goal scorer, man. And
he does a lot of the damage on the power play too. So that's kind of where he butters his bread. But in relation to Taylor Hall, like I was saying, so Hoffman makes $4 million. Buffalo retained half the salary for Taylor Hall. So I think the Blues could have, potentially now moved Hoffman to another team, brought Hall here, basically the same money when Buffalo's retaining half the salary. And
what about Lou? Let me ask about Lulu. The big Lou.
Real quick. And they could have made that work. And I'm not going to sit here and suggest that was in the works, but they could have made that work. But again, from what I'm being told, Taylor Hall was not a name that was coming up in their meetings too often,
No. We kind of know where Taylor Hall is, and he could be a fit with certain teams, but I never connected the dots here with St. Louis. But Big Lou started things off as usual. He's like, I'm not fucking around. Not only am I going to get a solid 25 goal scorer in that Kyle Palmieri, he's going to get an old school veteran that he's dealt with for a long, long time, Travis Zajac, former teammate of mine, and just made a Lou deal because Anders Lee's out with New York Islanders. No one's talking about the fucking Islanders ever. They never do. But Lou's going all in, and they pick up 2 fucking veterans, man. They're going to try to help him get to the promised land. But that's Lou starting it off, Andy. What do you think about that whole situation?
I like it. Again, he knows Travis Zajac. Palmieri comes in. He's been a good player for a long time. So you got some familiarity too. And you got some familiarity between the organizations, right? Jersey and then the Islanders with Lou. Lou just comes in, man. I mean, like he knows what he wants. He identifies what he wants, much like a lot of these veteran GMs. I love watching the veteran GMs work, both in free agency and also at the trade deadline. They just seem to kind of be so cool and calm in terms of how they do it. Guys like Lou, guys like Doug Armstrong, guys like
Jim Rutherford,
who's no longer running a team right now. But David Poile, like everyone was shitting on David Poile, man. He signed some bad deals. But, they've got some injuries. And now all of a sudden they've got their stuff going right now. And Nashville, it looks like they're going to make the playoffs. So
it's funny how some of these younger GMs probably just wait till the older cats do something. Like they're just waiting for something to happen just to see what kind of goes down. And I don't think it's going to be too crazy today, but Lou certainly got it off right.
Is agents, man. Some agents, how they just kind of stir the pot and they create this rumor mill. Because I really believe that's what took place. Like, remember a few weeks ago, everyone was talking about Connor Garland from Arizona. Where's he going to go?
Yeah.
And I never got the sense that Arizona was looking to move Connor Garland. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of that noise was generated away from the Arizona Coyotes. So you got to be careful with some of the stuff that.
All right. Well, look, enough with what's going on, because again, we're going to put this out tomorrow. So we could be fucking wrong on everything. It could be a shit ton of things going on. There could be not. Who cares? We talked about it. We gave you what we need to, but we got a great guest up today, Andy, a handsome beggar, a guy that lived a pretty cool life. I'd say he went through a couple of nasty divorces. Don't get me wrong. Oh, geez, Louise. But the guy's lived a pretty cool life. I mean, when you're that handsome and you walk into a bar, which I absolutely asked him that question, like, what does that feel like to the normal folk like yourself? And he explained it, Andy. And it's just he lived it up in the biggest city going, and it was wild and crazy at the time. And he certainly told stories. Ronnie Duguay.
Oh my God. Duguay, by the way. It's not
Duguay.
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 Duguay. This guy used to run with Andy Warhol back in the day. Do you even know who that is? Studio 54.
He's a painter, isn't he?
He was like an artist, man.
Like
but
an artist painter. Kind of weird, though. It's kind of weird.
A
Well,
lot of those guys are a little bit weird.
they're a little bit off, but I think Andy wanted really hang out with him a couple times. I think
he said he never really got that vibe.
I thought he had I thought we talked about.
He said that one like roller skating incident. He talks about it, but
like,
but it wasn't like he didn't pick up on that from.
I wouldn't even care. I'm like, what's up?
But like Andy Warhol was like introducing him to like all these like big time celebrities, man. And
I know.
Back in the day, again, no social media and all that. Ron Duguay, he's got the long flowing hair and he's hanging out with playmates. He looked like a Playboy model himself, man. He kind of looked like a Playboy model.
He looked like fucking Zoolander with blonde hair. He still does.
This guy just kills me, man. And he's open with all his stories. He did a lot of partying over the years.
Oh, fuck.
He had a lot of fun.
It's so funny. His sons, I saw a picture of his kids the other day. I was like, it's so funny. They all live together.
They look like him.
Yeah, oh my God, yes. Fortunate. They're all like, oh really? Yeah, they got the genes. And it's just like, I'm thinking like, dude, if your daddy brings home some dime piece, you got to be just looking at that like, oh my God. Like
he'd bring up his hockey career. We'd be like, okay, we don't care about your hockey career.
No. We care about your off the ice career, bro. I mean,
he was a pretty good player too.
He was like, he scored 40 goals. But on the other hand, like you're dating these superstars. And I'm like thinking like, damn, why don't you just get models instead of fucking high maintenance Cher and all these like celebrities like that? They must have been such a pain in the ass to deal with. Can you be weird with them in bed? Like, are they controlling you because they're so higher up than you are? Like, is it even fun? Rather than just go grab a hot ass chick at the bar, which she'll do anything to you. Like, is Cher doing everything you want sexually to get off? Or are you taking care of her because she's Cher? That to me kind of sucks. You catch my drift there, Andy.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but I don't think he really wanted to dive into that specifically. He doesn't.
Well, I kind of did,
tell, man.
I just wanted to know just a little bit.
I know you did. You did.
I'm curious.
You were very interested, but like it was such a crazy interview. It was such a crazy interview. And it was fun, but it was just like, okay, like I was just getting so confused though towards the end a little bit, just being like, what is going on here? And he worked with MSG, man. I used to see him on television. I used to say to JD when JD was in St. Louis running the Blues, I'm like, Ron Duguay, tell me about Ron Duguay, because they played together. They knew each other real well from back in the day. But like this guy dresses all fun, crazy and whatever. So I kind of like people that are individuals. Cam, he doesn't give a shit what anybody thinks, man. Like he's confident. He's like, man, I lived a life. No matter who's around me, I was bigger than you in my heyday. And here he is at 64, man. He's just still happy. He has fun in life. And that's what it's all about. So I hope I'm that happy. I hope I have the same attitude when I'm 64.
Well, you're not happy now, so you better figure it out.
I'm very happy.
Not to me. Not to me, you asshole.
You drive me crazy.
Ditto. But he was great, man. Great get, and just a fucking fun life. And he's chilling down in Florida doing this thing, dude.
You're a little much, Cam. I mean, let's be honest. You're a little much.
Shit. Yeah. Well, no shit.
People ask me all the time, is Cam like that? Like all the time? I'm like, yeah, kind of.
Kind of. It's like I go to bed at 7:30 at night.
It's kind of what's going on, man. It gets a little crazy.
A little crazy sometimes.
But no, it's all good. Hey, you're starting your little cameo thing, by the way. Let's see how this goes. I don't know about this.
Well, really, you won't get one because you got to have fans. So fans want to do it. So if you had fans, maybe you can get one. But
what are you going to do to a little? Are you going to scare the kids?
Well, whatever they want me to do. If they want to be like scary Cam, I could do that. Do you want me to be like happy Cam? I could do that. Do you want me to be like sympathetic Cam? I could do that.
You say you'll do bar mitzvahs. What are you going to say? Yeah. Happy fucking bar mitzvah? You can't curse the whole time.
Oh, well, if they want me to, I will. If they don't want me to, I won't. Okay.
Is that in the application? You have to check the box. Cursing,
no, it's like you tell me what you want from me, and I'll give you that part of my personality.
Hi, Susie. Easy. I'm so fucking happy for you. Happy fucking birthday
Susie.
To you. You're 8.
Oh my God, Susie, that's such a cute shirt. What's going on? What's happening today, Susie? I'll do that.
You can't do that. Don't scare the kids.
I didn't cuss that time.
But I kept hearing about this cameo from you for like 3. You were so excited about this. I'm working on my cameo.
Well, I'm not
working on my cameo.
Well, I'm not working on anything. They approved me like 3 months ago, and I forgot about it. And I'm like,
they have to approve you.
Yeah, Andy. That's why you're never gonna get one.
Now, how does it work? How does it work?
I don't really know. Brody did it for me. You put your thing in, and then they approve just like getting a check mark or something on something. So they're like, yeah, okay, fine. And then I forgot about it, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can make some coin off of this and make people laugh. Like, why not?
So how much do you charge?
$50.
And then what happens? Like that's probably like the lowest level. Like the big time celebrities probably charge like $1,000, like Shaq or something.
Yeah, for sure. $50 is way on low. But if you add them up, I don't want to rip people off, but also I'm going to bring the heat for you, like I said on the video. Which my shirt looked like shit.
Okay, everybody, let's turn our attention to the screen, and we got a special message for Tommy's 6-year-old birthday.
Tommy, how art thou? Who is this, Daddy? Tommy, I'm here. I'm gonna scare the shit out of kids. Actually, good God, they're gonna be like horrified. They're gonna want their money back. No, it'll be good. I'm
getting a lot of requests to start my own cameo, man. So I bet
you are. One. They're like, oh, you're that guy that asked those questions at one time. You're that guy with those cool suits on. You got good style when you're in the air on TV, I should say. You do. I'm not gonna bash you that bad, but you got good style. Better style than a lot of those cats.
Oh my God.
I've
seen your suits.
Oh, they suck.
I gotta do TV.
I gotta do TV on 20. Andy, I'm so embarrassed. A, I can't fit in them. B, I can't fit in them. And C, they're from 2007. I'm gonna look like a jackass. I don't even want to. I might call Frankie and be like, I can't do TV, dude. I'm too fat.
What do you? How do you define doing TV? Like, what do you have to do?
Pre and post game for
like what, a game that's on the local Channel 5?
Probably something shitty or something. Yeah.
So like when the game is on,
it's still going to be on local. Actually, that's bigger than Ballet, then, right? It'll be on NBC.
No, the local Channel 5. Like
we'd be right after the NBC game because it's NBC,
right?
So therefore, to get a lot more views.
So the game,
so you could chirp if you want.
So the game that's not on Bali. So
the bigger game
is on NBC.
Yeah, the bigger game.
A post game show on the local NBC after the game that's on NBC.
Yeah, the bigger game. Yeah. And I'm gonna look like shit.
The afternoon game that is not on the major.
The Sunday 9 o'clock a.m.
NBC. It's on and then they turn into the local NBC.
It goes right to bowling afterward. It goes right to Wheel of Fortune right afterwards. They get 3 seconds of me and then Wheel of Fortune, local Wheel of Fortune.
So are you on the set with Jonesy and Sharpie, or are you like with Rennie Knott? Like what's going on here?
I'm with Renee Knott and Frankie. And they're gonna, and my suit's gonna look like shit.
Are you with Catherine Tappan or are you with like Frank?
No, I'm too good for them. I'm gonna be on local TV with an old suit that's bulging out of my like crotch area,
profusely,
sweating my ass off.
I've never seen anyone sweat like you.
Oh, I can't do it. I might even say no. I can't. I'm radio and podcast only for me and videos.
I need the people to chime in on this one. Cam will be like, I'm like, what are you doing today? He's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna go golf. Probably dropped 7 other F-bombs before he even between the time Cam said I'm gonna go golf, he probably dropped 7 F-bombs. Just
is that what we're talking about? My language again?
5 words.
They already know about that, so go ahead.
I said, oh yeah, where are you golfing? He's like, I'll probably just go in my backyard. Like that's not golf, dude. Like golf is when you play 9 holes, 18 holes, and you have to like drive the ball. Then you may need a 7-iron.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, just hang on.
Tell me about it.
You may need to chip.
Yeah.
You may need your putter. Like just hitting balls in your backyard, that is not going to play golf, dude. That is not golf.
But what if I did play golf and then I went in my backyard and chipped around? Is that golf too? Like
no. That's just like I'm just gonna go hit balls in my backyard.
Well, like I mean
that's not golf.
But that's the sport you're playing though. I mean, if I'm gonna play hockey in my basement, I'm gonna play golf. Like I'm gonna go rollerblade and stick handle around. Like what? Like I played golf yesterday. So like if I say I'm gonna
play
go
like real golf yesterday,
yeah, Kate and I did. We did 18 holes yesterday. Kate and I did. Yeah, our house looked lovely and everything. Yeah,
you did real golf yesterday.
When we send you a picture, you fuck. Why you like argue? I just did my membership. I just paid a ton of money for it. It's like I'm horrible. Andy.
How did you do,
Andy? Let me explain something to you. I suck at fucking golf. I suck. My drives are so god awful. They're so embarrassing. Kate outdrove me a couple times. Not funny. But my chip game's good because of the backyard play I have. So my irons are awesome. I'm sticking the shit out of stuff. But man, my drives, like, and there's people behind us. I'm like, oh,
just spraying balls everywhere.
Oh, Andy. They're like, oh, who's this big guy? And I go up there and I'll top the ball and they go, and I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, we'll pick it up. See ya. We don't want anybody behind us. We're so like paranoid. But we had a good time, man. Had a Bloody Mary. We chilled, dude. That's what you do.
There's so much golf etiquette that I don't even know.
Well, you better figure it out because you're not getting invited.
Well, it's bad enough I don't know which club to use. Like
The biggest one possible.
I know the driver, I know the putter. I never know like what other club to use, like for specific, shots.
Yeah.
Do you have one of those like binoculars where it tells you how far you
Yeah.
are away from the green?
No, you got it on we have a nice course, Andy. So the carts have those.
Oh, the carts have them.
Yeah, we have a nice course.
I think most of them do nowadays.
Nah,
it used to be considered one of the top courses in St. Louis. I don't know if it still is. Is it still?
It's top 5. The one's top 5. The one I'm on is top 10.
Is it?
It's terrible. Yeah. Yep. Tavern and Lewis and Clark.
Which one do you play? There's 2.
I could play both of them, but the one in my backyard. Tavern. It's really difficult, but it's nice to see.
Is that considered the nicer one? I'm being serious.
No, Lewis and Clark's nicer. It's easier. This one's really elevated. I mean, the elevation up and down. It's very scenic, but extremely hard. Kate and I figured that one out pretty quick, but it was cool just to be in your backyard and just walk home or whatever the fuck you want to do. It's nice. It's nice.
Now, do you
maybe someday you'll be able to move out here, Andy?
Well, I'm going to come out there and play. I think next Sunday, right?
Yeah, if you get invited. If you get invited.
Well, no, I'm ready.
Are you invited to that? I haven't made that decision yet.
But it's the etiquette, Cam, of not knowing where to drive the cart. Where can you go? Where can't you go?
Andy,
people get angry if you go the wrong way.
Fucking
you drive over
no.
grass. Or people, they want to fight.
Well, don't get off the guy. If it's cart path only, don't get off the cart, dude. I don't know if you're ready for the prestige. You're from the hillbilly part of fucking Leduc. You're not ready for this out here. You'll be stomping on guys' lines and shit when they're putting. You're gonna be a fucking disaster.
That's another thing. You walk in front where they're gonna putt. What's gonna happen?
Listen to me real quick before we get into live reads. I remember going to all these tournaments. My mom and dad never played golf. Obviously, they didn't know any of that fucking construction work, whatever. So I started going to all these tournaments with the Devils. And Andy, I'm playing with big time lawyers at one of the nicest courses in Jersey. And Jersey has the top 10 courses in the United States. Jersey does. It really does. And we're always at these nice courses. I'm stepping on guys' lines. I'm fucking the lie up. I'm driving a cart. Just you don't know. And you kind of learn and you learn and you learn. I could just see people shaking their heads. I look back at my memory bank and I'm like, oh my God. I walk on these guys' lines and shit like that. They're just shaking their heads. So you learn, man. So you got about 4 or 5 more years to go and then you'll get the invite out here.
Dude, I always golf with people who know what they're doing. So that's that.
And you don't pay attention because you're on your phone the whole time on Twitter. You act like you're not on, but you are tweeting shit out all fucking day while they're doing shit.
Tweets is what I said. I don't get automatic alerts and updates.
Neither do I. I don't want to bug that.
Some people's phones just go off nonstop. You know what I'm saying? If somebody tweets, it shows on
Andy,
your phone.
Every time I have you on my radio show, I got to smack you in the face. I got to smack you in the face the first 30 seconds. And I'm already pissed because you pissed me off because your goddamn phone goes bing, bang, bang, bang.
Those are text.
Well, turn it off. God, you ruined my rhythm. God.
Hey, where's Raquel gonna go?
The Blues for Sanford.
Well, you already thought that was official.
I almost said I was like, Raquel. I'm like, oh, cool. He's a big guy. I'm like, fuck, good job, Harvey. I'm like, good. I was gonna write out this cute thing, Raquel's gonna do this and that and the other. And people are like, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, he's kind of like a couple other players who just, over there in Anaheim, just not having very good years, man. So, but he's got term left in his contract. But you got to pay the price.
Man, I got to pay the price for living out there too. Shit.
All right, so Ron Duguay, man, this is a hilarious interview. I mean, this guy is hanging out with celebrities. I mean, this is old school too, man. And again, this is one of those interviews where some of our listeners may not be familiar with who he is. Just look him up. He looks like John Bon Jovi.
He does.
He's got the hair. He may have had some plastic surgery. In fact, I asked him about it later on in the show.
He's got some white ass teeth. I'm like, that costs you about 25 G notes.
35 grand for those.
35 grand for those. It looks like you got Doogie's fucking teeth, Andy. You got Doogie's teeth, but those aren't. You didn't spend 25 G's. Those are natural.
Did you when I asked him if he's had any plastic surgery? I had to ask.
Yeah, I mean, he looks
like
good.
He's 40 years old.
I know. He's got he's fucking amped up, and he's energetic and shit. And I'm like, fuck, my dad's 5 years older than you. And he's fucking hurting. It's holy shit.
Give me an example of somebody who is like him in the modern day, or somebody that you played with who just knew everybody. And I mean,
Chris Chelios.
Chelios, dude, for sure.
Chelly. I mean, Walt does, but I don't think he cares to know guys. He's just that's organic with him because he's so fun. I think everybody just wants to be around him.
Holy knew a lot of big time celebrities, man. And
celebrity wise.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Chelly. I'd say Sheldon Surrey, Brian.
Yes, Surrey. Yeah.
I'd say he knows some cats. That's a good Mark Messier, but I mean, Marty Brodeur, like I'm trying to think of the big boys I play with. Like Marty didn't give a fuck. Like he didn't need to hang out with celebrities. He hung out with the guys that own Rock Bottom, the bar, who's fucking my buddy too. Like he owned these. He hung out with all these old school cool Jersey guys that just like took care of him and stuff. And that was just in our circle. Like he didn't deal with the New York fucking celebrity scene. That takes a lot out of you, man. And Marty's not kind of personality. He'd rather go to a pub and hang out kind of thing. And I get that, dude.
I love Duguay though. He's like, he doesn't hold back. He's just, I go, so like, where were you like in comparison to like Messier and like Lundqvist, other guys who played with the Rangers who were like, because Messier, man, he was like hanging out with Madonna, right?
Yeah.
And
I said Paris Hilton, but I think I'm right on that later on in his career.
I don't think you are. I think you're
wrong. I saw
wrong.
him at a basketball game together.
Paris Hilton might have been like 6 years old back then.
I'm not talking back then. I'm talking when Mess is like 50, dude.
Ah. Well, maybe he was.
I don't know.
But Henrik Lundqvist. So Duguay or Duguay?
The Dugs.
Dugs is like, well, I mean, they were like better players maybe, but like, come on now.
I ran the city.
They weren't doing what I was doing.
He's kind of right, man. Like, I think he's kind of right. I mean, Mess was probably smashing a bunch of shit, but I think Lundqvist is kind of a good dude, meaning like he's like monogamous. I think he's married and stuff. So it's like, he's not dipping this shit. So
right.
The Dukester was fucking like, but
Lundqvist, man, he's like, he just looks like
hey, imagine Doogie now if he was playing with Insta models and fucking Instagram. Oh my, he's probably doing that down in Florida too.
He probably
he's
is
single.
anyway. His DMs are open.
Dude, he's single down there. And he's like, dude, I'm going out. He's 63.
He's been married twice, but both his wives were like models too.
Yeah, but the last name Bobo. You just you don't marry a girl with the last name Bobo, right? No. Wasn't it Bobo or something? And he's like, you stay away from girls like that, I think.
He hung out with Farrah Fawcett too.
I'm trying to think who that chick is.
Farrah Fawcett?
I know what movie.
Wasn't she like a Charlie's Angel, dude?
Back in the day, yeah, that's
dude. You got to know who she is.
Yeah, but I don't watch old '70s movies unless it's like Slapshot.
Just Google it.
I know the name. No, I will. I'll creep her out. Don't get me wrong, but
I don't know who Farrah Fawcett is. I mean, come on.
Like, were you like, I don't care if I impregnate you because are you using a condom? They had condoms back then. They have condoms back then.
Why are you whispering? You talking quiet for Kate?
No, she's gone. My kitty cat's laying next to me. She's kind of getting worried what I'm saying, but
your cat have one eye?
No, she's got two, Andy.
Is it blind in one eye or no?
No, she's actually pretty with it for the age of 14.
I feel like we were doing a Zoom veterinarian appointment here a few minutes ago.
She's laying right next to me. I put it up to you, and it's great. It's a great podcast entertainment when you show a picture when you can't see it. So
I know we're doing these intros on Zoom. This is something we're doing.
I love it, dude.
Different. Cam
we got new mics. We're chilling. Dang. I'm looking at my beautiful backyard. I'm probably going to play golf today, Andy.
In your backyard?
In my backyard.
That's not golf. That's like going to play putt-putt and be like, I'm going to play golf.
But
it's actually like a place where they have I gotta work on my game, characters and like windmills everywhere.
I got to work on my game, bro.
I know, me too. Actually, I'll probably be ready. My first shot is always my best shot.
Sure it is.
Is that how it is for you? And then I'll never repeat it again.
No. My first shot's always my worst shot. And I'm like, oh, God, because everybody's staring at you on hole one. You're like, oh, yeah. Oh, Cam's up. Let's look what he's going to do.
Did you watch the Masters? I didn't know that.
It's so boring.
Listen, so many people are so into the Masters. You can't bother them when the Masters are on. It's like
I'd rather watch golf now than baseball, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But
I kind of do.
I never even heard of the guy who won. Congratulations to him, the first winner ever.
Whatever his name. Yeah. He's a cool cat. I mean, look, some of those guys are just not marketable, man. Like, they're just not marketable. I'm sorry. Like, you could be the best of the best. You're not marketable.
Dude, he'll be doing some crazy commercials coming up soon.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Hideki. He's just not marketable, dude. It's like having a.
You think like the PGA? They're like, please speed, please win.
Speed, or like somebody loud, or how about that DeChambeau cat that can fucking drive it 800 yards? Like,
Dustin
have that
Johnson.
Jack dude, Dustin Johnson with Paulina, whatever the fuck, something.
Dustin, can you please win so like Paulina can be like on the green, giving you a hug and a kiss at the end?
Everybody always asks me on the radio, and like, who do you think's gonna win? I go, Paulina's gonna win, dude. Okay, like Paulina, she's gonna win. Wins. Well, no matter what, she's gonna win if she's there. She's winning.
We love the Gretzkys, man.
We love the Gretzkys. Love them to death.
All right, let's get to Ron Duguay. Dugues.
The Dugsker.
This guy lived a life.
Oh, he's a
As always, brought to you by CarShield. CarShield.com, 800-857-2481. Get that protection. Now, you never know when you're going to need it. That's the bottom line. So just make sure you have it. It's like one of those things. It's like you don't know how good it is until you need it. Then you're like, damn, I'll never live without this ever again.
Yeah.
That's what CarShield does for you. Again, if you have your computer goes out, your engine goes out, your starter, your alternator, I mean, you're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars, unless you have CarShield. And you get to pick where you want to have it taken, who performs the service. It's like too good to be true. So again, 800-857-2481, carshield.com, mention the promo code CAM, and you're going to save 10%. So that's a pretty good deal right there.
Yes, it is.
10% with mention the promo code CAM. All right, keepithandsome.com. Have you checked out the bundles? Listen, to all our listeners, especially the OGs, those who have been with us for a long time, and all the newcomers too, man, we need your support with this. Keep It Handsome. They've got now the Cam Jansen bundle, and they got the Andy Strickland bundle. I don't know which one is better. They're both equally good, if you ask me, Cam.
Yeah, well, we're not equally good, but the bundles are. That's for gosh dang sure.
I think I may. Listen, you get like the shampoos, the conditioners, hats, the Fight Ugly hoodies, which supports the Montreal Resource Center, which are sick, by the way. And everything's discounted in this bundle, dude. You're going to save a lot of money. And we're talking about packages that are well over $100 that you're going to get for under $80. So these are great, great packages. Pick out the bundle that's best for you. If you're a female listening, these are great Father's Day gifts.
Yes.
For your significant other that's coming up. Just go ahead and keep it hidden for the next few weeks.
It smells good, and you're going to love it too. I'm telling you, girly girl, you're going to smell his hair, and you're going to be like, oh my word. Oh, yeah. You smell handsome. Get over here, you stud, you.
I get that a lot.
You sure about that?
Yes, I do. I'm really
sure about that?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, you do got 3 kids. You're doing something.
So keep it handsome.
Oh, they do look
the right way with our boy Mcenroe, man. He's got the hats, the hoodies, I use the beard moisturizer. In fact, I use it before I go to bed now.
That's good, Andy. You should, because you don't have a beard. That's cool when people do. It's cool. That's a cool trend to happen. Like when you don't have a beard, use a beard moisturizer. That's a cool thing. The fuck?
Yeah, now I'm using it. I use shampoo it like all day long. I use it. I got a little suntan yesterday hanging out outside in this bright sun. I put it on there too before I go out in the sun. Yeah. So anyway.
Protect that beard you don't have. Protect that beard you don't have.
It's coming. Oh, we're coming.
Is it? Oh, we're coming, Jordan Bennington. He didn't have a beard either. Who's he kidding?
No, who good hair though. Older, me or
Benner?
Does he?
Yeah.
Probably so. KeepItHandsome.com. You can always buy these on Instagram or Amazon as well, but I don't know if you can get the packages. So go to KeepItHandsome.com and then shoot us a picture of you getting the package, and maybe we'll send you like an autographed puck or something like that.
Yeah, from Andy. We'll give it.
Maybe so. All right,
we'll hook you up with something. Trust me, I got a bunch of goodies. I'm looking around right now.
Ultimate hockey fans, you want to like get people to walk into your house, and I've done this now because I've got the Cam and Strick ceiling fan up in my hockey room downstairs in the basement where Ty does his little skill work and whatever. We have fun in there. People come by, they see it, and they're like, "Whoa!" That's the reaction you get with these. Yeah, so www.camandstrickpod.ultimatehockeyfans.com, and you're going to save a ton of money. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick in the checkout, and again, you're going to get a discount there. These are so cool. You can customize it for any team that you want. So if you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, if you're an Oilers fan, if you are a Flames fan, whatever the team is, just customize it to suit your needs. Could be Colorado Avalanche, and put it in your man cave, put it in your kid's bedroom, put it in your hockey room like I did. And it just takes your room to the next level. These are unbelievable. We have pictures of them on our Instagram. You can check those out. But again, ultimatehockeyfans.com, that's the website, but use the link www.camandstrickpod.ultimatehockeyfans.com. Then you're going to save the money. And Cam, you know how cool these are, man.
They are unbelievable. The kids will love them. Just make sure Ty doesn't high stick that bad boy. He's not tall enough yet to really get it. And neither are you. So you're pretty good with that for now. But you got to worry about the rebounds because those things are really cool. So you can have them in a cool game room, your kids' room, whatever the hell you want to do. They're cool. They're unique. And that dude's all over the place, man. He's doing really well.
Yeah. So again, the promo code Cam and Strick, and you can choose your blades. You can have them look like hockey sticks or goalie sticks. You can mix it up. I mean, the wow factor is absolutely incredible. So do that with our friends over there at Keep It Handsome.
Yeah.
All right, Bellman.com. Our boy Dan Bellman just always getting it done. He's got hot deals for you right now. If you're looking for that new car as we enter the spring, they got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on one side of the street. Cam's looking for that pink Jeep, small wheels, 2-door with flames on it. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you can get yours too, man. Just tell them what you're looking for and they'll take care of you. On the other side of the street is the Cadillac, the Buick, the GMC. I'm looking at that Escalade, baby. And you know that our boy Dan Bellman's going to take care of that. And, you know, he's happy now with the Blues winning again. And you know, seeing if they can sneak into the playoffs here down the stretch. But Dan Bellman and Bellman.com, all out of Troy, Missouri, Cam. The service is what separates him from everybody else.
It, baby. That's it, dude. Like, you're comfortable when you go in there. Your wife can go in there and buy a car. They'll work with you. They're easy to talk to. And it's just a comfortable experience. And that's what you want as a loving husband, Andy. You don't want your wife walking in there and getting fucking creeped out by a bunch of swinging dicks. I'm telling you, it's not cool. Because then she comes home and she's like, God, that was fucking brutal. I'm like, what'd they say? Well, they all beat your ass, Cam. I'm like, oh, those sons of bitches. I'm sick of it. Maybe they can, but don't tell my wife that, you swinging dick. Not a Bellman. She can go in there and be happy, do her thing. Well, maybe you want this, maybe you want something else. It's easy peasy. Dan Bellman's a wheel. He's a cool cat. He knows so many people in St. Louis. He does a lot of charity work in St. Louis for kids and hockey and all that shit, dude. Spend your money with him. They got it all.
We might send you a Cam and Strick hat. You go to www.camandstrick.com. We might send you a hat if you buy one of these. If you buy a Bellman car, we'll get you a hat.
I'll get you a hat. And if you buy a Bellman car and you're like, hey, Cam and Strick told us to come here, you're getting a hat.
You buy a fan, you'll get a hat and a puck. And if you buy a package from Keep It Handsome, you're going to get a puck, a hat, and a free cameo from Cam.
I'll do that, dude. I like where your head's at. And I'll fucking bring the heat, too. I don't give a shit what it is.
You want that free cameo.
You want me to bash your brother? You want me to pump up your daughter's volleyball game? You want me to do anything? I'll do it.
But you got to have proof, man. I want to see these packages.
Yeah. No,
I might even do one for you.
Yeah, that's going to get you sales.
I can't wait to start my cameo. Brody, get me set up.
It doesn't work that way, bro. It doesn't work. They got to set you. They got to pick you out.
Cam, everybody has cameo in their like Instagram bio, their Twitter bio. It's not. I don't think they're that selective.
Then go get one.
I'm gonna get one.
Go ahead.
If I get denied for that,
you're gonna be like, oh,
you'll never know.
I can't even get cameo. Oh God,
you'll never know.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
All right, Daredevil hockey. Ty had hockey yesterday, and I'm putting on the Daredevil stuff for him, and I'm just like, like all these parents, man. Why aren't they like paying attention?
PK Subban.
PK
Subban. Yeah, I tweeted it out too. Yeah, dude, Daredevil hockey. I fucking tweeted it out. He got cut big time, just like I did. Like he probably got like 30 in the leg.
Really, in the arm?
In the leg, I think.
Oh, the leg. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Right by his knee.
We're gonna have to get him some. We should get Daredevil. Listen,
dude, what is going on? How can you not want to use it? I fucking use it every time I skate.
PK, but we can.
It's ridiculous. Why wouldn't you want this, Andy? I swear to God, like it's unbelievable. It doesn't. It's so comfortable. It just feels like just any other undergear that you use. Yeah. It's not sweaty. It feels fucking great. You don't even know you have it, and you're protected. Don't get cut like that. You don't even know you're getting cut sometimes, man. You fucking bleed out on the bench, start getting dizzy.
But here's the deal, Cam. Like I've got peace of mind because like Ty's, skating. All these kids are like 5, whatever. He's 4. He'll be 5 here shortly. Will you make a cameo for his birthday, by the way, for Ty?
Are you kidding? I'll make the best cameo. Oh my, I'll pump his tires up so much.
Okay, so his birthday's coming up next month.
Oh my God.
I got so much peace of mind, man. All these kids are falling over each other. And I don't really think about it because he's got the Daredevil hockey gear on. So again, go to daredevilhockey.com, promo code Cam and Strick. We try to keep this easy for you with all the promo codes.
Yeah.
You're going to save 25%. That's a hell of a deal.
It is, man.
And
it's worth it. Get your kids in this early. Like let them know that this is what you have to wear when you play hockey. And they're going to be like, oh, okay, it's no big deal. Like everything else is uncomfortable. Like you got to put a different jock on and shit like that. It gets kind of convoluted down there. This stuff is very easy peasy and it's comfortable and it's safe. And that's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There's no doubt about that, man. Let's get to Daredevil hockey. Everybody, please protect your kids, man. I hate seeing kids get cut. It's the number one cause of kids going to the emergency room too, Cam.
Yeah,
so
it is, man. We see it every goddamn game. Every game.
It can happen at any level, including with PK Subban. All right. Ron Duguay, Dukes, talks about his party life and all the celebrities he hung out with back in the day and the supermodels. Even Elizabeth Taylor, she was married like 7-8 times. She never married Dukes, though.
Does he have any sex tapes? That's just an honest question. Did I ask him
Why didn't you ask that?
God damn.
Hey, do you know who Elizabeth
I'm gonna look
Taylor
it up.
is? You know who Elizabeth Taylor is?
Yeah.
Liza Minnelli.
I know. He banged Elizabeth Taylor, too. She's in all kinds of big old movies.
He talked about her. She's
like the diamond chick, too, that did all this diamond stuff.
Christy Brinkley.
Dude, there's got to be videos. Why?
Christy,
is there videos of this?
I don't know. We should have asked him. We'll do that the next time we have him.
All right.
All right, Ron Duguay. Dukes.
The Dukes.
Rangers legend. Named one of the top 100 like Ranger players of all time, too. Probably mostly for what he got done off the ice. Although he was good on the ice, too.
He's number one in that game.
He was good in Detroit, too. Played with Proby. Played with Yzerman.
Yep.
So I'm glad we got this guy on, man. He was cool. I think people will enjoy it as well. Have a listen. Episode number 129 on the Cam and Strick Podcast. Dukes is next. Enjoy.
Ronnie.
Yes, hi there.
What up, big boy? Where you at, man? You down in Florida?
I'm in Florida, northern part of Florida, near St. Augustine. I'm just kind of in my I love Ron Duguay room, which is my streaming room. I'm sitting here all with my past, right? Living out my past, and very comfy. And I live with my son, so things are quiet here.
Oh, really? Shrine to yourself. That's what I have.
Do you have any Playboy bunnies like hanging around, just sitting around you right now?
Knocking on the door?
No, you don't understand. I'm in Ponte Vedra Beach. This is a retired community.
Yeah. They come in all ages. You know that.
You're the same age as them, but you look like you're 40. So you're good, dude.
During my world-class research, you've got like a emphasis on the do. It's like Ron Duguay. It's not Ron Duguay. I always thought it was like Duguay, but it's like Duguay. Like, how do you pronounce your name?
Ron Duguay. Exactly. Well, it depends on where I'm at. If I'm in New York, it's Dukes, right?
The Dukes. Yeah, I like that.
That's it. And anywhere else, it's Ron Duguay. And some places, it's even Mr. Ron Duguay.
Where's that at? Where's that?
In Florida?
That's down here in Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
Sir Dugay's in Europe, by the way.
When you're in the old folks community. How come you don't live in New York? I mean, do you not want to live there full time? You'd rather just chill out in Florida?
Why wouldn't you be in Florida?
Well, when I'm in New York, I have to. I'm. How do I put it? I have to be on, right? I'm there as Ron Duguay, and I love being me. I'm treated so well.
Ron, you're there as Duke. You're there as Duke.
You're the Duke.
You're Dukes. You're not Ron Duguay when you're in New York. Come on now.
Okay. Okay. So I'm there as Dukes, and I enjoy being me, and so I go there to just kind of have fun, entertain, and because I spend a lot of time working with the Rangers.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of events. And so I go there with a lot of energy, but you can't be on all the time. So that's why I escaped to Florida. So I did this for about 15 years before COVID, 15 years, once or twice a week, back and forth to New York, working for the Rangers. I did television for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now I work for the New York Post, and I spent 2 years working in the schools in the Bronx. So I enjoy the lifestyle there, but I just can't live there full time because I think it sucks the energy out of me.
It does, dude.
Do you put the earring in when you go back to New York, or does that stay in all times?
No, that once I did the makeover on myself, which has probably been 4 years, I kept the earring on for another year. That was the last thing to go. And once that came off, I felt liberated because I had 1 foot in the 80s and living into today. I just did not want to let it go because the 70s and the 80s were really good to me.
Oh, yes, they were. So before we get into that, tell me about your setup in Florida, though. Like, what are you doing, man? You got a boat? You on the water? Like, what do you and your son do?
Well, I'm across the street from the ocean. So for me, I'm big on just laying at the beach. I go to the beach. He goes surfing. I sit on the beach, look at the ladies.
Yeah.
Other than that, I cycle. I play tennis. I play golf. And when I was in my routine, it would only be 1 or 2 days a week. That's all I'd be here. So I would just relax, just enjoy not being in the snow in the wintertime. So I didn't really have any kind of set schedule other than not really planning anything. It's whatever I felt that day. And occasionally I would go out. Occasionally I would go out on Friday night, Saturday night, and still go out and have fun. As you know, I don't know if you know this, but I've recycled and gone back to being single.
Oh,
but times have changed. It's just not the same anymore.
Well, down there is a little bit more normal because you're in Florida. But like, tell me about that. Like, you're a single guy. You look young, but you're older in age. Like, how does that work? And you know, you did your thing in the 80s and 70s and 90s and all that stuff. But now, as a single guy, like, how is it? Like, is it a different approach when you go to the bar?
Well, I'm good up to the age, down to the age of 35. I can talk to a 35-year-old and I'm okay.
God.
And above, right?
Wow.
And but anything other than that, they're just interested in me because I have celebrity status. And a lot of these women, like my son, I have two boys here. One is 26, the other one is 30. And so all the women that are around them, and this is what I do when I go to the bar. My son's Noah and the other one's Bobby. I say, okay, tonight's Friday. You guys are coming with me. Really, Dad? Yes, we're going out. And so what I do is I have them sit next to me. And within an hour, because everyone knows those guys, they're good looking guys, right? And so everyone kind of surrounds us. And I just kind of sit there and enjoy the scenery. And then the young girls are interested in knowing about my past, right? Because they all know what I've been through and that I've dated so-and-so. And so I get into good conversation. But when I get into the real stuff, it's ladies over 35. Oh. Here's why I have the 35 rule. My oldest daughter is 35.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, that makes sense.
Are you talking to her friends?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, my daughter's in California? Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they're friends. They're friends. Yeah, I've made a promise to myself. Don't embarrass your daughters.
I'm surprised you don't live out there. You live out in Florida, not in California.
Out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I love it because my kids, I have 4 grandkids. My daughters are 35 and 33. I have 4 grandkids. They live in Newport Beach. That's where my first wife, that had an expiration date on her. That didn't last but 8 years.
We'll get into that.
They're all out there. And, but I love going out there to visit. It's just so far away from me and I'm doing so much travel. And the reason I'm in, near Jacksonville is because it's an easy flight to New York. It was an easy thing to do. Yeah. And that's why I'm still here. And if I had a choice, I'd probably be in California. So, but it's quiet here. I kind of stay out of trouble. I go to the beach, ride my bike, stay in shape. And I got to keep it tight, got to keep the body tight and looking good because occasionally I don't just do radio, I do television.
Exactly.
And part of me, I'm kind of in that health and fitness lane where I like to be able to talk about, what it's like to slow down the aging process, all the things that I shouldn't have done, but then I decided at the age of 30 that I should be doing. Actually, it was at the age of 27 when I got traded to Detroit from New York. That last year in New York, and that's when Herb Brooks kind of saw that I was declining. I mean, I was partying hard. I was going straight to practice from partying, and Herbie kind of saw all that, and he thought, you know what, it might be time to get Ron out of town while he can still stand. So anyways, when he traded me to Detroit, that was shocking to me. And so that summer, I decided to make some changes in my life, which had a lot to do with I'm going to start stop partying while limit my partying. And then I met a woman from California, my first wife, went to Detroit, was introduced to Stevie Eisman, and I thought, okay, let's just settle down and play hockey. So anyways, it's about the age of 27, I started to make some changes. I did a lot of research on, what to drink, what not to drink, what to eat, what not to eat. And I think I'm benefiting now because I'm going to be 64 in July. And I like to think that I can still go with the best of them. I mean, I can step on the ice and still go at a good pace. I play tennis, I cycle, I go in the weight room. And so I'm a testimony to if you take care of yourself, you'll get good results. And so I'm getting good results now. So I'm in that lane to be able to talk about it. And so if you're going to talk about it, you got to look like it, right?
You're damn right you do. And you do look like it. Hey, let me ask you something about your sons, though. They're probably extremely handsome, I'm sure. They got the genes. But when they're like 20 and you're like bringing girls back, are they looking at them like, did they ever try to like dip into what you were dipping into?
Well, it's been, let's say, 7 years. So they were actually, my youngest was 22. And for the first couple of years, this was all new to me. And all of a sudden I found myself within a year or two, I'm in their bedroom smoking pot. I'm like, hey, and they're like, oh, wow, we like this dad.
Hell yeah.
This is the new dad, right? Although I'm saying this to you, I'm just being honest with you. I did do that, but I don't do it anymore. It was those first couple of years I went crazy. I went wild when my second wife expired. The expiration date went on that. That was after 20 years. Then I went to New York and I was like, oh, my God, I'm reliving what it was back in the 70s and 80s, although things were different. So it took me a couple of years to settle down. And I had to figure out, I have to still be a good role model for my kids, right? But my youngest was 22 and the other one, so they were mature enough. But now we're best buds. We go out, we have fun, and I don't smoke pot anymore.
Why not? Why not, by the way? Why not?
Only because if I'm going to negotiate with a woman, I got to be able to have my wits about me. And sometimes when I smoke too much, I just get numb, right? You just sit there and you're numb. So I have my few beers, maybe a vodka, occasionally a tequila. I'm fine. I'm happy Ron, right? But if I smoke a little bit, then all of a sudden the words aren't coming out right. It's not working. I can't close the deal.
You get a little quiet.
Take an Adderall.
You get a little quiet. Okay, so listen, you had the hair. Did anybody ever confuse you for someone else? Like John Bon Jovi or something like that. Anybody ever think you were somebody else? Were they like, okay, you look familiar. I think I know you. Are you John Bon Jovi? Are you somebody else?
Well, for sure, Bon Jovi. I hear that all the time. In fact, a few times, I'm at the Garden. I'm at the Garden often. I'm there a lot. And I'm by the glass. And one of the security ladies comes by and says, yeah, you were great the other night. And I'm thinking, what? And so we just kept talking. It says, how's your kids? I'm saying they're fine. So when are you going to perform again? I'm like, are you thinking I'm John? So actually at Madison Square Garden, where all security knows me there, because I have full access to everything at Madison Square Garden. I mean, if you want to go to the Garden and have some fun, you come with me. Anyways, it just happened. The occasional security person thinks I'm John Bon Jovi. So I'll get on a plane sometime leaving New York, and someone will walk by me. Hey, I saw your last concert. High five. It was awesome. And I just kind of go along with it. And I try to tell people, just so you know, John's like 5'10", like 160 pounds.
He is.
I'm
a little guy.
Yeah, and I'm like 6'2", 210. So anyways, yeah, John, which is, I guess, is a compliment.
Well, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, gee, are you kidding me?
It's not an insult.
I play in Jersey. It's a fucking compliment, dude. Like, they love him there, and he's very, very handsome. Now, let me real quick. You're born in Sudbury. You got to be like the best looking dude ever to come out of Sudbury. I mean, are your parents good looking? Like Sudbury?
Well, you know, if I was to show you a picture of my dad was a stud. I mean, he was a weightlifter. And that's how I got into it. At the age of 13, I'm downstairs pumping weights. Yeah. But my dad was thick, a good-looking guy. And, my mom was attractive. But, I got to give credit to my dad. He didn't act that way. He didn't walk that way. And he's a man that was a good role model for me, because it's not like he was chasing women. But a good-looking guy and very humble man. But I got it from my dad, and I'm one of five, and so sometimes you get the genes, and you got to be thankful every day. You're thankful, right? Wow, I'm glad that I got these genes, because it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, well, listen, my sources. Listen, they say you grew up in Carroll Richard Park in Valley East. Is that good information?
That's very good. Yeah, Carroll Richard Park. Yeah, 3 words in the valley. We're actually in the valley of Sudbury. So going to Sudbury was a big deal. Playing against any Sudbury team was a big deal. But I was in small communities where every little community had their own outdoor rink. And that's what I did for my first 12 years. Started playing hockey at 3. And by the age of 12, then I graduated, got into an indoor rink, and then started playing on a travel team, just like everyone else in Canada. And then fortunately for me, at the age of 15, I got drafted by the Sudbury Wolves, major, junior. I didn't have to leave town. I got to stay home, which I'm very thankful today, because that makes a big difference. A 15-year-old's got to leave home, got to go.
Damn right.
I don't know if you went through that. Would you play in Windsor?
Yeah,
Cam?
I'm from St. Louis. I had to go to Windsor. I was 17, just turned 17, and I had to go to Windsor. and stay with an 85-year-old couple with 5 daughters. So that was fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I would hear the stories all the time because guys would come in, for the Wolves and playing. I mean, they seem to be fine. I know I was really fine living at home, having my home cooked meals.
Oh, yeah.
And so that made a big difference. And I was there 4 years. And so by the time I got to New York, I was ready. I was ready to go because I felt like, I'm all grown up now. Let's go. Not even thinking, wait a minute, I'm going to New York. I had no idea, no clue what New York was like. I had no clue what Madison Square Garden was like. I really didn't even know what it would be like to play in the NHL because we were so limited back then. I think we had 2 channels on our television, watching the Leafs and watching Montreal Canadiens. And of course you watch other teams, but you're really not paying attention to other teams. So I had no idea. By the time I got to New York, I think I was grown up enough to be able to deal with stuff because what we went through major junior, that was a good place to be taught what it's going to be like to play in the NHL with all the fighting and everything that you went through was just at a lower level. So by the time I got to New York, I think I was okay. And it had a lot to do with the teammates. And, the first man I meet, Phil Esposito, he's sitting there. It's June. And Espo had been there a couple of years. He's sitting there in Madison Square Garden. And for me, it was like, wow, Espo, Summit Series, right? 72. Mm-hmm. That speech in Vancouver, where he said, listen, we're going to Russia. We're going to win this thing. We're down 3-1. We're going to win this thing. And he carried that team on his shoulders. So now I meet Espo, and he's from Sault Ste. Marie. I meet Espo, and like, wow, you're like my freaking man. So he became like a close friend, dad figure to me. And then you add all the young guys, Donnie Murdoch, Gressner, Maloney, Dave Ferris, Mike McEwen. It was just, we had such a fun team. So I stayed there. So I went up to New York, I think it might have been June, just to go sign my contract. And that John Ferguson was the manager, just to sign my contract. Next thing you know, I ended up staying there for a whole freaking week. They gave me a check right away, a little bonus check, which was, I guess was quite a bit back then. It was $100,000. And, so I thought, well, you know what? I'm not even going to fly home. I'm going to go buy myself a car. So I'll go buy a car, and I'm looking around to see what's everyone driving, right? Everyone's driving a Corvette. And because I'm a little bit different than everyone else, I said, I need something different. So I go buy a Cadillac, a white Cadillac with white leather seats. Gangster. I buy this white Cadillac. And as I'm there for a week, I got to get out of here. This is freaking crazy wild and a lot of fun. So as I'm pulling out of New York, Long Island, I pull by this marina, and I'm like, wait a minute, I need a boat. Pull into freaking marina. I got a boat, and on my way home back to Sudbury, and I'm telling you, my car and the boat was bigger than my parents' house.
Boats are such great investments, by the way.
Terrible investment.
Let me go back. Before we get to New York, just wait a second here. You're growing up in Sudbury, and you're playing for Sudbury. Now, were you a ladies' man growing up? Like, were you, like, you're good looking, but did you have the confidence? But once you hit junior and you get a little bit of attention and you're playing for your hometown, were you like, oh, shit, I got confidence. Now I'm going to go to the bar and talk to all these girls. Or were you doing that at a young age?
I was doing it at a young age, but I was quite shy. I was shy. I needed someone to approach me. And then I had my buddy, Molson Canadian, was very helpful. Very helpful.
Damn right.
The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by CarShield. Nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and right off the bat, you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now back to the interview. You get to New York. You mentioned celebrity status. Like, when did you become a celebrity? Who was the one that kind of took you around that like introduced you to the celebrity lifestyle?
Well, I got to give credit to Rod Gilbert. Rod Gilbert was there in 77. He was there for the first 2 months. And, of course, Rod was Rod. He was Mr. New York. And he was there first 2 months, and Fergie didn't want him on the team. So they basically gassed him after the first 2 months. But the good thing is I was there in training camp with him. I got to know him, and Rod was very much of a party guy. And so Studio 54 had just opened that year, that April. And so Rod says, you want to go to a studio there, Studio 54?
Hell yeah.
I said, well, I'm willing to learn, so let's go. So off we go. And this might have been sometime in October of that season. And, of course, none of us are staying in Manhattan. There's probably Rod Gilbert, Steve Vickers, Phil Esposito, 3 guys staying in Manhattan. The rest of us are staying in Long Island. It wasn't acceptable for us to be in the city. So, anyways, I go to studio, and Rod, who was close friends with this guy, we have this mutual friend. His name is Richard Wiseman. Richard Wiseman was the go-to guy between us and all celebrities. He's a very wealthy guy, Wall Street guy. And he was close to Andy Warhol, Elizabeth Taylor, and the rest of them. So the main guy that I end up meeting that kind of took me to the next level, it started with Rod, this guy Richard, because he had the best parties. Mm-hmm. Then it was Andy Warhol. So once I got to know Andy, Andy had this magazine called The Interview. And The Interview magazine was more or less for the elites to look at and to read. Yeah. He would put A-list celebrities on the cover. Well, he got to know me. He says, Ron, he said, I would love, and he had put Rod on the cover. And he says, you're going to be my second NHL player. I'm going to put you on Interview magazine. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I have no clue, right? I have no freaking clue what this really means. All I care is, Andy, get out of the way. I want to go meet her over there.
Yes,
right? Yes, you do.
And who was over there?
Who was that 6-foot blonde?
Elizabeth Taylor.
We'll get to that in a minute. So anyways, he puts me on the cover Interview magazine. And so that's what really elevated me to that next level. So then let's say Farrah Fawcett's in town and she reads the magazine. She wants to meet me. Cher wants to meet me. Everyone wants to meet me. Even Steven Spielberg wants to meet me. Apparently he was in town the day that it came. It hit the magazine store. He's in town. He's looking around. He's looking to interview someone, I can't remember who it was, to take the lead in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Ooh. And he reads about me, and he says, I got to meet this guy. He might be the guy. And so then Gulf and Western owned the Rangers and Madison Square Garden. So I get a representative from Gulf and Western calls me, Ron, we have a meeting tonight with Steven Spielberg and Roy Schneider. Roy, who was on the actor in Jaws.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, why? He says, well, he just wants to meet you. Okay. So I think I'm 23. I have no freaking idea what I'm getting involved in, right? He says, well, it has something to do with possibly some acting. So I'll never forget this. I'm sitting there and having dinner with these guys, and I'm still quite shy back then. So the dinner was actually the interview. And so I think by the end of it, he kind of saw that I wasn't a really outgoing guy, that he didn't think that I could carry the lead of Harrison Ford, who ended up getting the job. Yeah. But what I'm sharing with you is I met all these interesting people that opened a lot of doors.
Oh, yeah.
And so anyways, but the Andy Warhol who I met, and from him I met everyone because he was close with Liza Minnelli, Elizabeth Taylor, Halston. I mean,
was he a weirdo? Was he a weirdo?
No.
Okay.
No, he was different, and he knew around myself because my let's say my right hand man or my left hand man was John McEnroe, right? So John and I met John after he had just played Bjorn Borg at Wimbledon. He lost, but he kind of put himself out there like, wow, he's going to be the next great player. Yeah. So I met him just after that in New York. Him and I, after that, we hung out for the whole time I was in New York. So it was always kind of John and I, and so Andy. Around us, he knew that we very much liked women, and so he kind of he behaved. Let's just say he behaved around us, but no, very soft-spoken, quiet guy, and I had no problems with him because it wasn't like he would try anything on me, except for the one time. There's the one time we're at this place. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was just out in the public. And I'm like, no, this ain't happening. So we're at this club called Roxy's. And Roxy's was a club for just rollerblading. This might have been in 81, 82. It opens, nice place. So we all decided this. There were always a whole crew that we went out. and Andy part of it. Hey, we're all going to Roxy tonight, and we're going roller skating. I said, okay. So I'm sitting next to Andy, and he says, Ron, could you just tie my skates? Oh. I'm like, okay. So I'm down there tying his skates, right? And I think he was just messing with me. And so now he gets up, and he's balancing not very good. And so I said, okay, I'll lead you to the door. So he puts his arm around my arm, and we get to the door. Now we get on the surface. Now he grabs me by the hand. Like he grabs me by the hand like we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Aww. Yeah.
Couple they call that a couple skate.
Is there a picture of this? Good God almighty.
Oh, I know. Anyways, there's a photographer out on the floor.
Probably in one of his coffee table books that he put out.
Yes. And so then I start, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to stop this right now, but I don't want to insult him, right?
Hell no.
And so here's what happens. Here's my out. Christy Brinkley is there.
Oh, Christy, Jesus fucking Christ!
Is she in a swimsuit? Get out of here. Is she in a swimsuit?
Oh, so, you smell her hair.
So I'm watching her, and so I use Christy to get out of skating with Andy. So Christy's coming around, she falls, and I'm like, Andy, I gotta go help Christy. And so sure enough, that was my out. I grabbed Christy. We skated around for a while. And so that was the only thing that I think Andy was just kind of testing me.
Oh, he wanted it. He wanted it.
Did you go home with Christy?
You should have gone home with him.
No. Who'd you go home with that
every
night?
Movie.
You
mean take one? The old expression, take one for the team, Ron.
Exactly.
Hey, who'd you go home with that night? Did you go home with Christy? Did that ever materialize or no?
She's so
no. My friend date that night. Well, not a date, but was Cheryl Teague. So I was in good hands. I didn't need to. What I did is I did take Christy's number for later on.
Go ahead and give that to me real quick. Hey, did you say Cheryl Tate?
Tate, yeah.
Cheryl Tate?
Not Cheryl Tate.
Oh, I'm thinking of
No, Cheryl
She's
Tate.
with like Charles Manson.
Sorry, it confused me a little bit. Okay, sorry about that.
Cam thinks you're hanging out with like Manson's girls.
Well, we just had Manson on.
You guys are too young to remember Cheryl Tate. She was. Do you remember? You know Cheryl Tate, right? She was the first one to be, I think, on the Sports Illustrated cover where she was a fishnet. You can see her, her breasts, her nipples. Google Cheryl Tate.
Oh, we will, dude. We're gonna be googling a lot of shit, including yourself.
So John McEnroe though, like was he a guy that you'd want to run with? Like, was he just like Velcro girls were just flying at him left and right? Like, were you as popular as him? Like in New York, do people know compare yourself to a guy like him who was so famous?
John's very loud and outspoken on the court, but when he's out, he's quiet because he likes to hit the pipe, and then so he gets kind of mellow. And, he's not tracking as much as I am. Let's put it that way. And so he kind of sits back a little bit. Here's the thing about John and I. We had it so good. It was just not fair to everybody else. We had a restaurant called George Martin's. And Dave the Butcher, who was a basketball player, I think he was a former Knicks, he owned it, but George Martin was just a buddy of his. He put the name on this restaurant. So we got to know George. Here was the deal with George. George said to John and I, listen, I need you guys to come to my restaurant and just help me give it some publicity. I said, okay. He says, here's the deal. This is what I'm going to do for you. Here's the table back. It wasn't a big restaurant. There's a big round table in the back. You guys call me in ahead of time when you're going to come, and I'll make sure the table's full. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? He says, well, I got 3 connections at 3 different model agencies. I call the manager and they'll send 2 or 3 ladies over. So this is what it was like for us. We would say, okay, George, we're coming over. So by the time we got there was 2 or 3 nice women who wanted to meet us. And for the agencies, they thought, well, there might be a picture taken. It was a good opportunity for them, right? So it was a mutual thing. We're helping each other out, right? So that's what it was like for John and I. It was, we didn't have to work real hard. And so I don't know. I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but that's the way it was.
No, okay. Let me stop you. Enough's enough here. And I want what is it like to be you with that flow going, and you're beautiful and you're a celebrity, and you walk into a bar and you just know that every girl is looking at you and evaluating you. Like, explain that confidence to the normal folk like Andy,
like Cam,
like Andy. Explain like the feeling when you walk into the bar and you just the kind of bar stops and they look at you and like I'm going to pinpoint what I want to do.
You know what? I don't think anyone's ever asked me that question. That's a good question.
I know it is.
I don't know how to answer that other than I'm very grateful. Let's just put it that I'm very grateful for what I've been through, having played in New York, wear that Ranger jersey, wear that number 10, having done everything I've done. And to this day, often, depending on where I go, like if you were to follow me through the garden, it's kind of like that. I trust me. I love it and I appreciate it. And I enjoy being me.
Go ahead. Okay, I have so many goddamn questions. Go ahead.
But here's the question.
Good God.
But like at the end of the day, like you're an NHL player, you're a professional athlete. How did the organization react and respond to that? Did other players get jealous of you?
Especially young.
Like, did the organization get jealous of your popularity? Did you feel like you were getting too big? Like, how did they react to it? You never been asked that either.
Yes, he has.
Yeah. Well,
yes, he has.
Yeah. Well, here's how it all started. Sonny, I don't know if you guys know who Sonny Warblin was. He's passed away. Sonny Warblin is the one who kind of created the situation for Joe Namath. So when he had Joe, he told Joe, listen, Joe, I want you to be you on the field, but I also want you to go out there and be visible. I want you to go out and have fun. And so he did. Now, not many owners, or he was a president, I think, at the time of the Jets. He says, I want you to just go have fun. Be noticeable on the field, off the field. He told him that. And you saw what happened to Joe, right? He was able to back it up.
Yeah.
Well, I get to New York, Gulf and Western owns the team, and now they bring in Sonny Warblin. So I'm there when Sonny Warblin's there. Mm-hmm. Well, I get the same conversation from Sonny as Joe Namath did. So he said, Ron, go perform, go score some goals, but I want you to be out there. And I said, Mr. Warblin, I will do my best.
Lou Lamoriello said the same thing to me. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
He's the complete opposite. Hey, let me ask you something personal real quick. You walk into a club, a bar, a restaurant, whatever the hell it is. Everybody's on you. Do you become a sex addict? Because you could point around and be like, I could work on this girl and I could take her home. Does that affect you? Because I've played with guys that they have to have it. But if it's always there, I mean, are you up all night where you're like, I have to have sex because I can get it at any time?
No, the answer is no.
Okay.
Thank goodness I'm not like. Yeah. Thank goodness I'm not like that because sometimes it was just way too easy. It was way too easy. I'm more of a I want to enjoy the woman, appreciate the woman, like the woman. Yeah. It's not just about, closing. So I enjoy the companionship of women. So I like to be with women. I like talking with women. It's not about always, I got to close this deal or I'm going to blow up. That's never been me. Okay. Thankful that's never been me because I could have been involved in the swingers club and you name it, orgies and
all the dudes would be all over you too, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Time to talk a little bit about Daredevil hockey, the ultimate in performance plus protection. Daredevil is a lightweight compression-based layer designed with Kevlar cut-resistant fabric overlays that protects all the vulnerable areas of the upper and lower body from skate lacerations. Get yours now. www.daredevilhockey.com. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. You'll save 25%. Now back to the interview.
Let's go.
Hey, Ron. Okay, Dukes, who's the most famous woman that you dated?
I
went out with, dated.
It's a loaded question, Andy. Good God. Don't confuse the guy. He's got so many.
That you dated,
Jesus
most famous.
Well, there's probably three of them that you can say either one of them, four of them.
Give me your top five.
Top million.
All right. Well, everyone knows about Cher, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows about Cher.
Yeah.
And then Farrah Fawcett was probably my favorite. She was sweet as can be, Farrah Fawcett. that Cheryl Teague's Bianca Jagger was very nice, very sweet. I met her. I got stories for all of them, which we don't have time for. Bianca Jagger,
sure
Cheryl Teague. And then Carol Alt became very famous in the celebrity world.
Carol Alt, you got dang.
Yeah,
dude.
no, Carol. Well, I was seeing Carol for off and on for a couple of years, along with Cheryl Teagues and Bianca and Farrah and Morgan Fairchild. But at one point when I got traded, the thing when I got traded, Gress was all over freaking Carol, right?
Ooh.
Ron Gressner. So that's why he ended up marrying her.
I thought you said Wayne Gretzky.
said Gretz.
Oh yeah.
No, Gress.
He had another celebrity.
Yeah, shit. Hey, let me ask you something real quick. Like Cher and these celebrities. So you're sleeping with a bunch of women, but then you get a celebrity and you're getting them here and there, but not like every time. So when you make love to a woman like Cher, is she like fucking do anything to me? Or you're like kind of like, oh, can I do this? Like, how does that go down? Are you nervous? Are you like, oh, let's get it on? Does she let you do anything to her? Like, how's that go?
Well, at the time I was 20, 21, 22, 20, 24, 25. I was young. I mean, I'm a complete different guy now than I was back then. And plus I was high. And so you know what? It was both. Most of the time, everyone's just friggin' hammered, right? Drunk and crazy. I was in awe. Like, I can remember sitting on Gene Simmons' bed with Cher, looking at her, thinking, oh, my God, I'm sitting here in Gene Simmons' apartment with Cher on the bed, thinking, oh, my God, what am I doing? If only my buddies from Sudbury can see me now, right? But I managed to get through it.
Good. Yeah, you got to take your time with her. Make love.
Did you like Cher though? I mean, you say you like the companionship. Did you like hanging out with her?
Yeah.
Like, was she too much?
She a robot?
No, I had to get away from that situation because I was warned in advance that she liked younger men and she'll box you in. And so when I knew that, I got away from that situation only because of that. And I can give you 20 minutes of stories and all that, which I'm not going to get into because if Cher hears about me talking about her, she'll find me and cut my nuts off. So I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, no, I got you. And we don't want that to happen.
No.
All right, let me get back to hockey just a little bit. Like playing in New York, did you love the game, or did you become obsessed with the lifestyle of being in New York and hanging out with all these celebrities?
It was to play at the Garden. You know, for me, just playing at the Garden, the energy and the excitement of playing at the Gardens and your teammates. I had awesome freaking teammates in New York. I mean, we had a blast. We had so much fun. The team that went to the finals in '79, I think we just made it in the playoffs that year. And Freddie Shearer is our coach. We just became a band of brothers because we're having so much fun. We couldn't wait to go on the road. I was partying, and I loved it. I love performing. That's why today I still play. I still love going on the ice. I still love trying to score a goal. I love being around the guys because we have so much fun. We laugh, especially the old school guys. And I had the only thing that was a little bit of an issue was going into Philadelphia and going into Boston.
Oh, yeah. Bad boys.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I kind of got picked on a little bit, pretty boy, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
I would have picked on you.
Yeah.
And
so that's why I end up having to fight some of the bigger guys just to back a few of the middleweights off, just so they knew that I would fight them. Mm-hmm. But it was goofy back then. 77. I mean, that was, because it was just growing in Philly because they started in 74 with all the guys with Schultz and all of them. Yep. By the time I got there in 77, oh my God, it was this training camp, exhibition games, brawls, and I'm like, wow, this is fun. So you had to man up really quick. So that's where all that stuff would take the fun out of playing the game, because so much of the game was trying to intimidate your opponent, right? Try to hurt your opponent versus let's play the game, let's play hard, let's hit each other. Yeah, the occasional fight. But back then it was like chop, chop, and we're going to freaking hurt you and cross-check in the neck and the back and in front of, like, play against the Islanders. Billy Smith, I mean, he was freaking awful. It was – you could not be a boy to play in the NHL back then. You had to man up. You had to do it pretty quick.
No doubt about it. Okay, so get back to the 70s and 80s in New York City. And people go to New York City now, and they're like, oh, it's so lovely, this and that. But in the 70s and 80s, it was fucking hardcore. You go down one alley, and you're fine. Another alley, you're getting fucking robbed, and guys are doing heroin. It was hardcore. The mob was all over the place. Did you ever talk to some hardcore motherfuckers out there that saw that you're a celebrity and they kind of wanted you to kind of be involved with them or anything like that? Because goddamn, New York was hardcore back then.
Yeah, well, I was kind of protected that way. I end up opening up a restaurant. I had a restaurant. It was called Sticks, of all things, right? And
Makes sense.
Yeah, and one of the partners was he had security. Let's put it that way. And so I didn't have to worry too much. Plus, I knew a lot of police. I knew a lot of them, and you kind of have an idea where to go, where not to go. But Times Square is so completely different. Red light district. I mean, big time. So, but you just wouldn't, now I love walking through there, but back then you just wouldn't walk through there. And you would cab anywhere. I just had a feel for what to do, what not to do, but I was pretty much, I felt the people around me, I was protected, so I didn't worry about it. That's why when I look at documentaries now about New York City's 70s and 80s, the mafia, the police, what they were all into, especially like the mafia out of Montreal, I had no clue.
Biker gangs
the seriousness of mafia in Montreal, where they were dealing with New York. I had no clue of any of that. So a little naive, but the people around me, I was protected. The NHL security was around. If I needed to have someone go have a talking to, I can talk to the NHL security. I had a few crazy women that I had to call the NHL.
Oh,
yeah. And
what happened with that? No, what they do?
Like harassment?
Like, no, they're like, are you not hanging out with me tonight? Like, they go crazy.
Not necessarily someone I would know. It would just, I'd be letters I'd be getting. Mm-hmm. It'd be more letters because back then we didn't communicate with phones. It was more letters that you had to take seriously. And, some are going to commit suicide. Some are going to do this and some are threatening. And so I can't remember the details of it, but I know I had to speak to NHL security. And, but I just felt, I didn't felt in danger. I just felt protected. In fact, I had two restaurants back then. I had another one called Cronies. My first restaurant was called Cronies on the Upper East Side. And that's where Giuliani would come in and he would kind of hide away back in there. So I've experienced quite a bit. I had a nightclub down in Westchester.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Did you make that much money? Like, how'd you like?
No, it wasn't. No, I mean, not. It was just we had partners. I had Espo as a partner, I had Gressner as a partner, and back then, we made a little bit of money, and we just split it up. For us, it was more than anything. It was just about having fun, like having my own restaurant with Espo and Gress. We actually went out and bought a limousine with a driver, So we had the restaurant, we had the limousine, and we had the driver. And guess who got to use it most of the time? And so I'm driving. I'm in style. I mean, we're not making a lot of money, but I'm at a high level as far as a celebrity. Mm-hmm. And we had all the toys, and we just have fun with it. If I can have others who are around me for you to talk to, kind of explain to you really what happened. Like the lineup between this little restaurant that was called Sticks, it was after games you couldn't get in. It was jammed, and I'd be sitting there, and I'm like, I can only take so many.
Hey, yeah. How far did your partying go? Like, were people dabbling in drugs too, or was it pretty much just alcohol? Like set that up.
Cocaine. Most of everyone was doing cocaine and smoking pot. I did it in moderation just to not say no. And I didn't mind doing a little bit. A few nights I did a little too much. You end up pulling some all-nighters and going straight to practice. And like Herb Brooks recognized that a few times. And that's when the Quaaludes come in. You're too high on the coke, then you got to take a Quaalude, and then you're sloppy all over the ice. Oh. But back then, like even the married guys, they're drinking a whole bunch, so they show up throwing up, and we're high, and it's like everybody's kind of on the same pace. And then you got a coach like Jean-Guy Talbot, old Montreal Canadian guy. They went through the same things. John Fergus. So they understood that we would come to practice and look like a mess because they did it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it wasn't until guys like Herb Brooks that came in that everything started to change. Training started to change. We're going twice a day. And I'm like, what is this? And we're not having a day off on Monday. What is this? This is way too serious. Yeah. So, so I dabbled in a few things, and I managed to stay out of trouble. I did it. I don't recommend it, but I did it kind of just socially. I mean, I did it the second day I'm in New York. The second day I'm in New York, signed my contract. I end up in Long Island with Gressner and I don't know if Donnie Murdoch was there. I think he was on a suspension, Donnie Murdoch. But I end up at a club. Next thing you know, hey, you want to try this? And I'm like, whatever. You know, I felt like I didn't want to say no. Next thing you know, we're off and going. I'm like, wow, this is pretty good.
Right? Yeah. And Coke was huge in the 80s in New York.
Oh yeah, and you mentioned like Joe Namath. I mean, he was like, mega star in New York. But who else did you like to run with? Like, who were some people that you were like comfortable running with, who could rival like your celebrity or even surpass your celebrity besides the John McEnroes? I'm talking like teammates who also like kind of had their way off the ice.
Well, once we started in my third years, when I moved into the city, and that's where other guys, Gressner moved into the city. A few guys started to move in the city, Donnie Murdoch. So it was Donnie Murdoch. It started with Donnie Murdoch. And like Gress would follow, but he wasn't this big studio guy. It was me, Donnie Murdoch, and then we added Johnny McEnroe. And from John McEnroe, you got Vitas Gerulaitis and some of the heavyweight tennis guys. And I'd run into Reggie Jackson occasionally and some of the Knicks, but a lot of those guys didn't really like studio. But it was. And then we had our crew. Then within my third year, when I moved to the city, I had a crew, Andy Warhol and everyone else that was around Andy Warhol. So like I said, I met Cher through Liza Minnelli, right? And what was your question? I forgot your question.
Well, you're just hanging with celebrities. You just answered it. You're all good.
And I'm just curious, what other teammates though, like hung with big time like celebrities too, like that you would take out with you, or you'd go out with them. Like what other players who could keep up?
Sorry, I'm missing out right now. Is Barry Beck, Big Bubba? So by the time Barry came into town, he moved in the city. Yes, Barry would be one. He'd be all over all of that.
What about JD? What about JD?
Yeah.
JD was married. So JD couldn't wait to go on the road.
We get it.
I love JD. JD was the funniest guy. I love JD. He was a great teammate, fun guy, competed hard when he was in net. And he was the reason we went to the finals. But he was just a jolly guy that I liked to have fun. And it was good because the married guys wanted to hang with the single guys. That's when we really came together.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that nice?
And back then, we moved around as a pack. It wasn't like, okay, 4 guys here, 4 guys there. It was, where are we going? And we're all going because we all wanted to be together.
Everyone together.
So why'd you settle down? And what was her name again? And I believe
had a couple of Kim Alexis.
No, but
the
first
one,
right? Had kind of a different last name.
Robin. Her name is Robin Bobo, and she wasn't a celebrity. She was a young knockout blonde. I went on a blind date. She was from California, Dana Point, California. Mm-hmm. My partner in the restaurant business said, "Listen, we're going to LA playing against the Kings, and we have a girl we want to meet." Well, I meet her. She's probably 21. I'm 23. I'm 24. She's 21. Bathing suit model, like just freaking perfect. And I started to see her towards the end, and then I get traded. So I'm seeing her and liking her, and that's when things weren't going so well for me. And when things don't go so well, you start to pull back a little bit. I start pulling back. I started to see her, although I did see Farrah Fawcett in between there, kind of cheated. And But then I got traded. I felt like, you know what? Okay, this is it. I had 6 really, really wonderful years in New York. Now it's time to bear down. I'm in my prime, down to bear down, being a player. Mm-hmm. And then her name is Robin. She ends up moving with me in Detroit, and then she gets pregnant. We have a child. We get married, and that was it. We did 8 years together.
So what happened though?
Like
what happened at the end?
Yeah, like what were you just in that mode where you're just kind of like everywhere you go, like girls are on you, like you get married and all of a sudden you have to stop, like it's just a sudden stop like that. It must be tough.
That was hard. That was the hard part. Well, I'm living in Detroit, so there was nowhere to really go party in Detroit, right?
No?
So there's not much going on.
So you get murdered.
Yeah. So there wasn't much going on there. And then, I had a good thing going. I'm playing with Stevie Eisman and John Ogrodnik. We're one of the top lines in the NHL. And so I had a good thing going, and I had a bonus-based contract. So every time I'd score a goal, I get points. It would add on to my contract. I'm like, wow, this is cool. So I was one of the highest paid guys in the NHL by the time I was in Detroit, because I scored 40 in New York. That added on. Next thing you know, I'm like making $450, right, which is in the top 10 back then, the NHL.
Wow.
And so I was making money. So I got serious about making money.
Time to talk about our boy Dan Bellman. Ooh. Bellman.com. That's with 2 N's, not one. BEHLMANN.com. Hey, check out the new inventory. Check out the pre-owned vehicles. You looking for a Chrysler, a Dodge, a Jeep, a Ram? How about a Cadillac or a Buick GMC? All in Troy, Missouri. Get your new wheels in time for the winter. Now back to the interview. But I got to ask you about Detroit, because you put up some good numbers there, too. Like you mentioned, playing with some great players. But you had Probert there. You had Melrose. Even Teddy Nolan, who we just had Ted Nolan on the podcast, man. Like, he would chuck him, too, right? Like, I mean, describe him as, like, from a toughness standpoint.
Oh, tough Indian. Tough Indian, man. He was tough. And he wasn't physically wasn't a big guy, but strong as heck. And not afraid to throw him. Who coached in L.A.? In Vegas.
Melrose.
No.
Gerard Gallant.
Gerard was there. Kosher was there. I mean, what a freaking – to sit on the bench to watch those guys go at it. We had the toughest team in the NHL. We really had the tough team. So they brought him in, and then Brad Park is still there. And I'm playing with Stevie and John. And, there was no one that was going to touch myself, Stevie, or John. Yeah. Or Proby's coming over the boards, or Kosher's coming over the boards. So it was a beautiful thing to watch those guys play the game in a different way, because they'd be in the dressing room before the game. They'd be talking, okay, they look at the lineup, okay, so I'll probably fight him and him. You fight him, and if it goes this, they'd be talking. We're talking power play, and they're over there trying to figure out who's fighting. He'll, no, I want to fight him. No, you fought him last time.
Oh, I know that game. So how was Proby though? Like, did you party with him, by the way? Because he was getting after it. Like, were you like, oh, okay? Like, did you know that he was getting after it?
We didn't know. I didn't know the extent of it. We knew that when he'd come to practice, he'd be a little bit off.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know if apparently I think he was doing coke, and I didn't see a whole lot of it on the road, probably because he didn't take it with him, but he would drink. So we would have some beers, but I got to tell you, I just really pulled back from drinking and partying. It wasn't until I end up in New York City where I would take the guys out. Right.
Yeah.
And we would go out and back then. So other than that, I didn't go out and party with him much, but I didn't see it. I was there. I was only there. I was with him 2 years. So I think he was fine there.
Yeah. We ask everybody that, and they all say the same kind of thing, Andy, right? Mm-hmm. We've had so many guys on talking about Proby to say the same thing.
Everybody loves him too.
Loves him.
All right. So you post-career, you start doing some television with MSG. Did you like the TV? Did you feel like that even took your celebrity status to a higher level?
Yeah, well, it brought me back, because I was kind of the face and the voice of the Rangers for 12 years. The first 4 years, I felt this is not as easy as it looks, right? Because there's a technique to it. There's timing, and you got a producer in your ear, and you got to go to a break, and you got commercials. You got to do this, you got to do that, and all these things. And I'm like, I'm a free spirit. I'm a free-willing guy. Just let me go. No, Ron, you got 20 seconds to make your point, or 40 or 50. And then you got to put your thoughts together, and you rehearse, and you say one thing, and next thing you know, something else comes out of your mouth. And oh my God, where did that come from? Right. And the thing is that people have no idea. You could be completely calm, rehearse. Okay, we're ready to go. And then all of a sudden it's 3, 2, 1, and the light is on, and it's live, and something happens to your body. I don't care how much you've done it. But when it comes to the technique of doing it, like if I see the light and there can be 10 million people on the other side, if I'm just being interviewed like right now, doesn't bother me.
Right.
More people, the better.
Right.
But when you're working it and you have to perform, it's completely different, right? So there was a thrill about doing it. There was a real thrill about doing it. And when you did, it was like a game. You leave a game, said, well, I had a good night tonight. Things went well. I played well, shooting and passing. Same like TV. So you know what? My tongue was working tonight. I said everything I wanted to say. It came out right. It was a good night. I'm going to go have some fun. But some other nights, oh, my God, why did I say that? Oh, I wish I wouldn't have said that. I could have said that better. And it was the same as being a player on the ice.
Yeah,
your tongue
right.
worked a lot of nights.
You're
I'm
so
sure.
right when you say that. But like, because what you say, once you say it, you can't take it back.
No shit.
No, you can't take it back. And I had the one in my last year, I said something and it was late at night. It was, you know, how the political correctness nowadays,
Oh,
right?
God.
No.
Yeah,
about
so
the women's hockey?
Well, what'd you say?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Doogie? What'd you say? Or can you say
It was nothing bad. I was picking on the officials. They're playing against the Kings. The Rangers need to win this game. They're trying to get in the playoffs, an important game. And it's right now, we're 3-hour difference. So it's maybe midnight. And the officiating was awful. Like they would call things they shouldn't call and things they should call. They didn't call. The Rangers end up losing the game. So after the game, we're 1 a.m. We're on the post game show. I'm freaking tired. I'm pissed. And I said, I gotta say something about the officials. So this is what I said. I said, these guys would have been better off officiating girls hockey. Right. And what I meant was in girls hockey, there's no hitting.
Yeah.
It would have been easier for them to not make a call because there's no hitting, just call face-offs and offsides, right? It's what I meant. Well, the whole world of hockey with women said,
Oh, boy.
I was talking down like women. You don't understand women. They play hard and they run into each other. And oh, my God. So on day 3, like I wanted to go back the next day and get back on the air and say, hey, let me explain what I said. Well, there was so much. The USA Today, newspaper in USA, made a comment in there on the internet, and they switched it. They made me look bad. And all of a sudden, this manager who works at MSG, he's panicking, right? He says, oh, my God, what am I going to do, right? And I said, just let me go back on the air. He says, no, what we're going to do is we're going to keep you off the air. Oh. And so then this monster was growing. So now I got another game 2 days later. This thing keeps growing, getting worse. Ron, we're going to keep you off the air again. I said, oh, my God. So by 4 days later, now we're putting you back on the air, but you're going to go apologize. Oh, yeah. So by then,
so they let you apologize or no?
Well, the thing is, I was apologizing for something I didn't do. Instead of, I wanted to go on and explain. No, they wanted now an apology.
Yep.
So the whole thing was mishandled. And sure enough, the following year, I was gone.
So that's why you think they didn't renew your contract?
No, I don't think so. I don't know what it is.
Was this before or after the Don Cherry incident?
This was before.
Okay. What's the Don Cherry incident, Andy? Don't bring that up. What is it?
With the poppies. When he said, you people.
Oh.
When he got fired. His incident when he got fired.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of understood all of that. So anyways, no, I try to get a reason why they didn't renew my contract. They wouldn't give me one. All I know is they end up using Anson Carter for some games. It is what it is. Anson is a friend. I work with him. And so they wouldn't give me an answer. And that's politically, they probably didn't want to in case, and they're always worried about lawsuits, right? But I was okay. Listen, I did 12 years in NHL. I did 12 years doing TV. And then I just started doing this mentoring of kids in the schools in the Bronx. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to move on into this other door that had opened. So I did that for 2 school seasons, and which was very satisfying for me because I was doing some quality work with people, with young kids, talking and mentoring them. And so I enjoyed doing that, which was completely a little bit out of my comfort zone. But once I got started, I realized that I had it in me to be able to talk to kids because I raised 5 kids. So I did that for 5 years, and to bring it up to today, a year or so ago, the New York Post came to me and said, Ron, we want you to do our podcast. So I've been doing that. So overall, I've been still connected to New York. I still talk hockey. It's within my comfort zone, And generally, everything's pretty good.
Good. I was going to ask you about that because, you know, you played in the 70s, 80s, and all that stuff, and you've been very successful afterwards. But are you financially okay? You had a couple divorces. Did they fucking rock you? Are you still paying a ton of shit? Like, are you comfortable now? Do you have to work?
I'm comfortable. Yes, 2 divorces cost me a lot. Mm-hmm. I would say I'm comfortable because I'm at the age now like I can start taking my pension money. With some of it I did. It was worth taking it because it's sitting there, and I thought it better off for me to just use it. So I've taken half of my pension, which pretty well covers everything. And, you know, I'm fine. I'm happy. And I got some things in the works right now that once things clear up, then I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm fine. So I'm okay. My kids, all my kids are good. They're all taken care of. My ex-wives are taken care of. I have a nice cottage by the ocean that I own. I'm good. And I would love to go to the next level of monies, which I plan on doing the next 2 years. But I'm comfortable. I have my health and my kids are happy. So I'm like everyone else. I like money, but there's a lot of other things that are a lot more important.
Well, you got your hair too, and that's
well,
really all that matters.
He cut the hair.
Can I take a little bit of your hair and put it on my bald spot in the back of my head? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Hey, be honest with me. Have you ever had any plastic surgery?
I had some tweaking done. A good friend of mine is a surgeon, and I've had some because I had drooping around above my eye because I've been cut there a few times. He fixed that up. And so a little bit of Botox here and there. So I've had some tweaking, minor. So, because I do not want to look like I've been fixed, right?
Yeah, Cam needs to be fixed.
Hey, what'd you do? Give me your shit, because my face is droopy as fuck, and my teeth suck. Because your teeth are so goddamn white. Like, did you have to put all new veneers in and shit?
Yeah, that's brand new teeth. I made a deal with a local guy here that he gave me all free teeth, upper level teeth,
nice.
And that was life-changing. I didn't realize that because you start seeing your gums and one's a little bit off, and all of a sudden you get perfect teeth and you smile. It's like you're all teeth, right?
I'm hideous looking right now with my teeth. I can't even look at myself in the mirror. I need veneers, but they cost out the wazoo.
Well, my deal was $35,000, which I got for free.
For the upper and the bottom?
No, just upper.
Only the top. My bottoms are fine.
$35,000? That's a New York price right there.
I'm going to look ugly my whole life. Rest of my life, I'm fucking done. I'm done.
Hey, go ahead and promote your podcast.
Yeah,
like, how often do you put it out? And do you talk about your personal life on there, or are you like breaking down the Rangers power play?
Yeah, like what are you doing, dude?
And the lineup.
It's up today. Every Thursday we put it up. It's called Up in the Blue Seats on Madison Square Garden. And it's with the New York Post. And so I have a co-host, Molly Walker, she writes for the Post, and then Larry Brooks, who's been around forever. Oh, yeah. And then I get at least one guest. I had today Paul Stewart, the official. I had him on talking about the officiating in the NHL. So I do once a week for now. We may go twice a week. The second one may be a different podcast. Will be a New York lifestyle show, which is what we're working on to do next. So I do that once a week, and I enjoy doing it. It's like 45 minutes, and it's something I look forward to. And I've had many guests, probably over 50 different guests, friends, people I've known in the business. And so it's been good. It's mainly my followers are mainly Ranger fans, so I keep it mainly Rangers. We talk the Rangers from week to week, what's going on. So it's mainly Rangers and a little bit of what's going on in the NHL.
All right, so I hate to draw comparisons or make comparisons, but do you feel like you have some relatability with Mark Messier, who obviously was super celebrity, mega celebrity? Was he next level compared to you?
Yeah.
And then Henrik Lundqvist, like most recently, the King, albeit he's married and whatever. But again, are we talking next level celebrity and status in New York City as Ranger players?
Well, they very popular because of what they did on the ice.
Oh yeah.
Mine was a mix of both. I had a 40-goal season. I was very popular in New York at the time. And so because of my celebrity status with those who I hung out with, that took me to the next level. And so how do I compare that with, see, you wouldn't see Lundqvist hanging out with celebrities. You don't, it's not something you're to see in the newspaper. I was in Page 6 all the time.
I see.
So Henrik was really popular because of his game. And I would, more popular than me. and so was Mess.
And his hair.
And his hair.
And his looks.
Yeah. I mean, no, he's Henrik, he's he looks perfect all the time.
Yeah.
He's got the, you get the $5,000 suits on, you're going to look good. So, and then Mess brought the Stanley Cup to New York. So Mess is Mess. And he would hang out. Mess was more of a private guy. He wasn't, I don't think he was driven to be hanging out with celebrities. And so it's not like you would see him like you would see me. But he's, I guess it's just different levels in a different way. Let's put it that way.
Do you need a wingman down in Florida? I mean, because my wife's not going to let me go down there, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I could convince her if I explain who you are. I don't know. Are you having fun down there? You're just chilling. Are you dating anybody right now? Are you just kind of mixing around? I know I've asked that before, but I kind of want to know to wrap things up.
There's nothing serious right now. Like during COVID, I flew into New York a couple times to go on a date. Imagine that. I'd fly into New York to go on a date, or I would drive down to Miami to go on a date. So I've done that a few times. And so right now, there's no one that's serious in my life. I'm looking. I would like to meet someone. I'd like to meet someone.
You want to get married again?
No, don't. But just chill on the beach with her and have a companion that you could talk to and have fucking Bloody Marys and shit.
Yes. Would I get married again? If it's the right one, I probably would. Because I kind of need that, because I have a wandering eye.
Yeah.
And I don't mind getting focused and meeting someone that you really, really like. But unless I meet someone that I really, really, really like, that's not going to happen.
Like
I know that
the 22-year-old Insta model. Is that what you're talking about?
They got to be 30. They got to be 35.
No,
they gotta be 35.
One last question. Did Howard Stern ever ask you to come on his fucking show?
He did not. No.
Damn,
and I don't think at the time I wouldn't have gone on his show, because it was just a little over the top for me.
Oh, that would, dude. He would have pumped you up so fucking much, man.
Yeah, I probably would have killed it, but I really thought he was a little over the top
in the 90s.
And that's kind of how I felt back then. Would I do it now? Well, yeah, because I would know how to. I would know how to speak to him.
He's a pussy now too, by the way, so he'll be soft on you.
Yeah.
But back in the 90s,
here's the thing. Here's what he would have wanted. He would have wanted me to kiss and tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He would want me to tell me what it was like. And the women are around; they're still alive. Farrah would have been alive.
That's true.
I wouldn't have done that. I don't throw women under the bus that way, and that way you can always go back.
Yeah,
don't burn a bridge, right?
No doubt.
Don't burn a bridge.
Don't burn a bridge.
Even though Cher did dress very bizarre in the music video in front of her kids. Did you ever ask her about that? Why is she wearing a thong in front of her kids? Where you're like, I know it's hot, but what the fuck?
Some of them do to draw attention to themselves. When I was with her, she was wearing fishnet. You know the big fishnets style back then? She was in there, fishnet stockings.
Tight body. Good Lord. Find that video, Andy. Do we have a video of that?
We'll try to track that down.
All right.
Well, listen, man, thanks for coming on. You were great.
You're the man,
We
Ronnie.
appreciate it.
All right. Well, good chatting with you.
Likewise.
And maybe we'll, if the Rangers make it in the playoffs, maybe we can chat then.
No,
Absolutely.
how about I'm coming down to Florida and we're hanging out? That's when we're going to chat, dude. So just be ready for that.
Okay. Well, Miami's the place to go.
Well, meet me there, dude. Let me know where you want to go. Let's do this up. Right on, Ronnie. You're the man.
Yeah.
You're fun.
All
You're
right.
great, dude. We'll talk to you, buddy.
Yep.
All right. Later.
All right, thanks,
See you, buddy.
Dukes.
That was Ron Duguay joining us here on the Cam and Strick Podcast. He just got rid of the earring, Cam. Do you ever have an earring?
Yeah, I did it. I did a couple of earrings when I was young, but then I'm like, I don't need that. He doesn't need it either.
He kept his till he was like 60.
I should have said that to him too. Take that damn thing out. You don't need it.
No, I asked him about it.
You do?
Yeah. He
What
said
did
he
he
took
say?
it out when he had his makeover.
Yeah.
So there's
His makeover.
Dude, check out the video. It's out there. Maybe Brody can find it.
I forgot what he said.
There's a local news station in New York. So like ABC, CBS, I don't know, NBC, whatever it was. And they had like a morning show or whatever. And they brought him on and they did a makeover. They cut his hair.
He doesn't need a makeover. I need one. Fuck's sake.
So
He's already beautiful.
He took the earring out when he had the makeover.
I said that. I go, you don't need a goddamn earring. They're just kind of like, I want to look at your beautiful face. I don't want to see that shiny thing. It's just like, why?
I used to have one back in the day. My buddy did it. I did it at his house. He put like an ice cube on my ear and then like stuck like a earring through my.
I got infected. Mine got infected. I bowled that shit and got fucking infected.
I didn't wear it very long, but everybody kind of.
Oh my god, you with an earring, Andy? I mean,
and he did it way too low.
You might as well put a tattoo say "bully me" on your fucking forehead,
dude. Everybody,
which you shouldn't do.
Had one back then,
but you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
I agree, but
you might as well invite boys to come knocking on your door if you had an earring. I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Maybe now for sure, but back when I was 13, most kids had.
Did you wear skater pants and shit back in?
Oh yeah, skids.
I did too. Jinkos and shit. Remember that? That was the stupidest era ever because you're not an athlete. You know, like you're just smoking cigarettes and.
I was.
Oh God.
When
was this?
At Parkway North.
When was this? When was this?
Come on. But a lot of kids had.
I went through the skater fucking shit, and I'm like,
you know what,
fuck.
Cam? I'm going through it now. Like my kids are still too young for that, but I see even with my oldest, she's in 4th grade. You see when peer pressure starts to creep in. You know, they want to dress a certain way, they want to have their hair done a certain way. Like, I hate that. And it's life, man.
Dude, let her fucking flap her wings a little, spread her wings a little bit here, dude. Like when it comes to like. You don't want her to be like the one girl that's not putting makeup on and the one girl that's not doing that. I'm just saying, no, like, you know, her friends are doing it. It's not that big of a deal. You need to keep up with the times that she's keeping up with too. I don't have fucking kids and I got to tell you this because I just kind of know like her friends are starting to put makeup on. They're starting to hang out the movies together. They're starting to do that kind of shit. You're going to have to fucking take them, drop them off the movies and then come pick them back up. Like you got to do that.
We are very loose, probably too.
You are very loose. No, I know you. That's why
we're not
you guys are awesome when it comes to that shit.
Yeah,
and you're big time awesome. You're not like, what are you guys doing? No, you're like, what do you want to do? You want to go there? Fine. I'll drop you off. I'll come pick you up. Just don't fucking, just do this, do that. You better be on time when I come get you. My mom and dad, who are the most lenient people in the world, I had to be on time if they're dropping me off somewhere. I come back, my dad's gonna be like, what the fuck? What the fuck are we doing? Get over here. Like that kind of shit. And dude, you got to, it's not about you. It's about what they're fucking doing.
No, I agree.
You gotta keep up with the times with them. Especially your oldest girl.
When I was a kid, I was always the kid, like the last kid to get picked up from like soccer practice or baseball practice. Like practice. I can only imagine. And like my mom comes rolling in at like 2:45. So just me and the coach having the most awkward conversation ever.
Oh, he's probably like,
and he's probably like, where the hell is
everything?
Your mom?
Eat everything at your house. I don't have much food at that. I want you to eat nonstop. Like, well, I don't have much food. My mom just get off work.
But they didn't have cell phones back then. They didn't have cell phones back then.
You had to cook for yourself. You're cooking this like rice and shit all fucking night. Oh, God. Anyway. You had to fucking grind it, man. We don't need to get into it, but you had to grind it. I always say that.
So I hope people enjoyed Ron Duguay, man. It's a different interview. And that's what I love about what we do on here, Cam, man. We bring on, we can go from Holly to Scott Stevens to Ed Belfort to Mike Madonna to Eric Lindros. You can go so many different directions where you can bring in a guy like Ron Duguay or Brant Myers or Darren McCarty, whatever. It's every interview brings on its own different temperature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, its own identity. And this one certainly had a different kind of identity. It's about women. I mean, they're not all like that. Some are about drugs. Some are about strictly your playing career. Some are about trades and injuries or whatever. This is about being a wheel. I mean, that's just that simple. And being beautiful.
Real quick, the biggest wheel you've ever hung out with who wasn't married, like you're not going to sell the guy out.
I couldn't even
because there's a lot of guys who weren't married.
I can't say his name. I can't say his name.
Don't say.
There's dude, plenty.
I won't.
And
say
not big boys. I know guys that I played juniors with, that I played in the NHL with, that aren't multi-millions, that aren't that popular. Yeah. They're just fucking wheels. They can go to a bar and talk to any girl anytime and just not be like, I got millions bucks. No, I'm just cool and I know how to talk to you. Those are the fucking guys you hang out with, man. Those are the guys who are like,
whoa. You want to know a guy who did real well in New York City?
Who?
He's a cool dude. He was here, man, for a year. Not even a year. It's Michael Del Zotto.
Oh yeah, he's a handsome, but he goes and gets it. No, okay. He's goes cool. And gets it.
He's cool.
He
but
goes
he's not
and
married.
gets
Like
it.
you know what I'm saying.
He goes and gets it. He's cut up. He goes and gets it.
I think there's other guys
who
want everyone to think that they do, but like I think that he had a lot of.
He was a wheel, dude. You know? No doubt.
He had good vision.
There's a ton of. I could say some guy. I cannot answer that question.
Would it bother you when you saw married men like doing that?
Well, no? Not when they told me how much their wife was a bitch. But did that? There's always two sides to every story too. Like, what do you think she's a bitch because you're fucking crazy? But man, I didn't see. Yeah, you see it everywhere. And look, you see it at any job you go to. Sometimes hockey guys. I can go to the NFL, go to the NBA, go to the construction workers, go to anywhere. The fucking anything you do, like that goes on.
No,
both sides of the story.
You're
okay,
right.
and just
You're
dudes. Right. Okay, could be the
what
women.
About in the media? What about in the media? Or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah, those guys. Those guys. Yeah, that's funny, Andy. No,
and I am in the media. I shouldn't. I'm just asking
you
you
different. You're no different. You're a little different. But
asking you the question. All right, this interview is brought to you by CarShield and CarShield.com. Again, 800-857-2481. Give them a call today. Mention the promo code CAM. I know it's embarrassing.
You're talking about the beat writers, right? When it comes to the
pretty
meat.
much.
Yeah, sure.
They got mustard stains, ass hanging out of their pants.
They got mustard stains all over their shirt, writing down. Fuck, you watch those guys.
Tell a guy, hey, I knew what quarter the
it's so funny.
The football game was in, or what inning the game was.
They're the nicest guys in the world.
The game was in based on how many mustard stains you had on your shirt.
That's so true.
CarShield.com. Get that protection today. Do not be left out in the cold. You know that. Hey, keep it handsome. KeepItHandsome.com. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick. Get one of these bundles, man. You have the Jansen bundle. You have the Andy bundle. Get it today. Send us a picture when you get it. And Cam's going to send you a free cameo. I might too. I might even send you a free cameo. And we may get you a free hat. We got a lot of stuff we can send you. But you got to hook up these sponsors, man. We got to keep these people going with us. And Keep It Handsome is one of the best people out there to fight ugly hoodies, everything that they're doing to support the anti-bullying effort up there in Montreal. We love that. And we're thinking about all the Canadians right now who are back in lockdown and all that, man.
Oh my God, dude. They're freaking out. Their businesses. We love all you guys.
We'll
we
get
love
into
all
that
you
on
guys.
The next one for sure.
We're thinking about you guys.
Yeah, yes, we are. All right, Bellman.com. Always thinking about our boy, Dan Bellman. He thinks about everybody else, puts everybody else first. That's what you find with Dan. Again, Bellman.com in Troy, Missouri. That's BEHLMANN.com. The only car dealership you should be shopping at. Bellman.com, Cadillac, Buick, GMC on one side of the street. On the other side, you've got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Cam. So you got a lot of selection there.
I want that dually, baby, just like Yellowstone. Fucking shit kickers on that goddamn show. I want that fat ass fucking dually because I might get a boat.
Daredevil.com.
Or side by side.
No one wants that.
Yes, I do.
About that.
Yes, I do.
Daredevil.com. Get your kid protected. I'm not having any of this. Get your kid protected and do it now. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save 25%. PK Subban's getting cut. I see kids get cut all the time.
Ridiculous.
No excuse for it. Save 25%. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick. Daredevil.com. They got the Kevlar cut resistant fabric in all the vulnerable areas to make sure your kid isn't going to the hospital, to the emergency room.
Yeah, man. No doubt. Can't do it. It's embarrassing. Don't even, it's so easy to do. It's absolutely worth it. And it's comfortable.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Again, endorsed by the ambassador, Carlo Coliacovo, our boy.
Love him.
All right. Black tie. When I drive black tie. You want to drive something exotic? Listen, you can certainly do that. You can drive Range Rovers, the G-Wagons, the Porsches, drive black tie, get the app, call them, tell them Cam and Andy sent you. You can talk to Ellie. You can talk to Dylan. They'll take care of you. No better way to drive an exotic car. Get your subscription today. You want it for the weekend? That's fine. You want it for the week? You can do that too. Drive black tie. When I drive, Cam, I drive black tie.
I know, baby.
Ron Duguay on episode number 129, man. Really enjoyed doing this, Cam. Go play golf in your backyard or whatever you're going to do today.
I got to do a radio show, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy the trade.
I have one every day.
Enjoy the trade. Only for an hour. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for the support of the Cam and Strick podcast.